hate mediocrity, man, especially when you're paying for it.
One thing is, in Kenya, I never pay for anything up front.
While in uni, I was more interested in business, so I used to run a bunch of businesses. My biggest money earner was funerals.
You know how Muslims bury, right? There's no feel to it. It's just... Kisiangani and I were actually thinking of doing a business.
You should, man. There's a lot of money in death.
The funeral caskets have a camera pointed at the deceased. What happens is you can log into the app. We charge you based on app usage. A new app idea, the Goon app.
I think that would work right now.
That would work, right?
Yeah, because I think everybody needs a goon right now. So it's like an Uber for goons.
Yeah.
You'd be walking down the street, man, and guys are hitting you and you're like, what's going on? They're not even stealing from you, man. They're just hitting you.
To be fair, Fazai has been at a place when I'm fighting with someone and he's seen my capabilities. You see why I want to chop at this guy? Aikido.
Listen. Air Force One. Listen, Air Force One, the president can watch 4K. Listen.
Coffee bomb. You want a coffee or something, bro?
I have a coffee and a something.
I have a coffee as well. Hey, you see how nice it is to have a wife? Like a fresh brewed coffee.
How does your wife like this? That's your wife over there, I assume, right?
It's actually the man next to her.
So how do you like his lifestyle, his podcasting lifestyle?
Speaking to the mic, please.
I'm asking the wife. You said it's the wife, right?
At this point, people think Fazza is probably the wife.
I'm okay with it. I actually help sometimes.
You sympathize with how busy your husband is. He has no time for you.
No.
You can't.
You feel... What do you need from your husband? Like with his busy lifestyle?
Nothing. You already do everything.
Aww. Okay, so that's nice.
That's beautiful, man.
If it was those witches I was dating. You promised to take me here. You promised another engagement ring after we got engaged.
But you see, I think when you get married, you find someone who vibes with you, who goes with you, the whole 9 yards. And lucky is the man, or happy is the man who finds that one.
Where's that expression come from, the whole 9 yards?
I have no clue.
Is it
I guess it's one of those...
Is it a football expression? Right.
Probably.
Ogata, you don't mind wearing headphones, do you?
No, I don't mind wearing headphones. I'm going to wear headphones in a moment.
Just 1 second. Wait, this is all going inside the podcast, yeah? I have a story for you guys. I was just thinking about it when I was writing emails on the toilet. My sound is a bit off. Actually, it's okay. Do you hear it going in and out? Okay, now it's fine. Yeah? And did you just press the button where you don't do anything and you're lying to me? You're a bastard guy. Okay, I love that sound inside. But, Ogato, if you remember the last time we planned the podcast, what happened? And let me paint the picture for these guys. It was December 2025. Ogato is about to travel. And I say, you know what? Before you go, why don't we get a podcast in?
Mm-hmm.
As I do, I send a calendar invite, lock the time in, and I message Ogato, listen, I'm on my way. I'm going to be a bit late, but my guys are already at the studio. They're going to meet you over there. Lo and behold, Ifika and Ogato is sitting outside the studio door on the floor, waiting. I'm like, what's up? He's like, the studio's closed. There's no one inside.
But I was cool sitting on the floor. Just saying.
Now, I call my guys and I tell them, yo, where are you guys? You know what they say? Oh, we thought the shoot was in the evening. And for those wondering why I stopped working with the previous team, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I said, fuck this shit. I'm done with mediocrity. Ogato and I had a heart-to-heart. We went for coffee after that.
Mm-hmm. Hot chocolate for me.
Hot chocolate,
you probably looked at me like, what's wrong with this guy?
We went to Muthaiga. And by the way, fun fact, we weren't You had still blocked me at the time.
Oh.
Sorry, what?
We want to know why T had blocked you, by the way. Give us that story as well.
No, I think
That's more interesting.
no, I was a bastard guy. I wasn't a really nice guy. But we had planned to do this catch-up. And Ogato and I were like, Vayani, expensive mediocrity. We've gotten used to that in this country where everything that's averaged is sold to you as elite.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten used to it as a culture.
I hate it, man. I hate mediocrity, man, especially when you're paying for it and then you get screwed over. I was making t-shirts for the Couch Connect for my team. And so if you watch my podcast, I have this sort of community notes that I include in the podcast.
I love that, by the way. I think we did something similar because of that.
Oh, beautiful. So I in front here, I had them do a QR code and write in brief, and then in the back, it's going to be behind the Couch Connect. So behind and the Couch Connect, same design, same height and width, so kind of a rectangle sort of shape. So the guy delivers stuff that only has the Couch Connect in the back. And then I think somehow he remembered along the way, and then he put behind at the top. So it's behind at the top and then Couch Connect below it. They looked horrible, man.
And this is a Kenyan guy, huh?
Yeah, Kenyan guy. And so I said, you know what? So first of all, I paid in full. I pay if I tell you I'm gonna buy this, you're gonna deliver. I normally pay in full. So I paid the guy in full from the get-go. So he delivered t-shirts and hoodies that were screwed up. So I requested for him to redo it. So I sent back the t-shirts and the hoodies. I told him, whatever you gotta do, redo it. So what the guy did, he printed a black, whatever they print over the writing, and then wrote whatever was supposed to go on the design was supposed to go on. He put it on top. Now they look even more horrible. And man, I don't know for the life of me. So I told the guy, you know what? I'm gonna order another pair since I see I don't like what this look like. So we're gonna do another set, but I'm gonna pay half the price.
I mean, you guys are learning from our mistakes. One thing is, in Kenya, I never pay for anything up front. There's a shisha guy. I want you guys to message him and tell him we will bust his fucking balls. Let me get his number.
Why are you busting people's balls?
Like, should I just shout? We'll think about whether we need to keep this in. But this guy, over COVID, we were ordering shisha.
Wait. Listen, this is being recorded after the ban has been lifted. When he said COVID, he didn't mean COVID. He meant yesterday. The ban has been lifted. This was not during COVID. Just prefacing.
This is shisha biryani.
Oh yes, biryani.
The one you smoke and eat
at the same time.
So let me try and get this guy's number. I'm not sure if we shout him out over here. We'll think about keeping this in. But fuck this guy, all right? What happens is he's selling his stock. So Fahad sends him the money. And the guy ends up blocking Fahad. And then blocks me as well.
After receiving the money?
After receiving the money. What's this guy's number? 1 second. Now,
that has happened to me a couple of times before.
Okay, so this is the guy's number. If you guys can message him, makende yako tutavunja na podcast equipment. So this is 071. All right, guys. It's called Nairobi Shisha Store. First of all, he's selling illegal shisha stuff. Secondly, he takes money from people then blocks them. This was okay. So my last message to him was motherfucker.
Damn. Are you a violent guy, Saj?
Or what you could do is you guys could message me if you have anyone who's a cop that watches this. Or if you guys know goons.
Everybody has a goon, man. You don't have a goon?
Yeah, I need a goon, bro. I need a goon plug.
You need at least 3 goons in order to make it work, though.
Minimum.
One will get bitten. Man, you recently got married, man. I got a gift for you.
No, Ogato. You shouldn't have, bro.
Gotten your gift or say you got married?
No. Sorry, we're using Ogato's introductory podcast on Coffee Pump as us busting kneecaps and wedding gifts.
So I have this for you here, man. I don't want married people keeping in
Bro.
whatever those are called.
You know,
You got Sajid a purse.
we were actually talking about this for the Kigali trip. Bro, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. This is so kind of you.
Yeah, I was trying to find something for your wife, but whatever I found was
okay.
couldn't fit in the suitcase, so
I'll
it's
keep
gonna
that.
come on the next trip.
I'll keep a heart in here.
Beautiful.
Romantic styles. You see, Ogato has brought us closer, babe. Thank you so much, bro. This is
No worries, man.
this is amazing.
All the best in your.
In fact, on today's IRL stream, I'm wearing this.
Beautiful.
I'm going to tell Eric I have a new best friend. What are you guys doing? Anyway, did you find this motherfucker's number? It's there online. There's a Facebook account. Yeah, so we can shit on him, right? All right, put it up over there, and let's do that. Ogato, sorry, we got sidetracked.
No worries, man.
You have we've never had a one-on-one catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to dive deep into you
Sure.
because actually one of the most interesting podcasts you did
Mm-hmm.
was a one-on-one. I forget with who it was. I was at the gym. It was a 24-hour gym. I was listening to it. And by the way, for those guys that don't know, Ogato is a professional A-lister. Yani, he's a scientist. He grows. You will give me the details, but he does a lot of stuff with biology that even sounds very complicated towards me. But it wasn't always like that for you with the fights you were getting into high school. With
Oh yeah, that must have been the Kisiangani podcast.
was it with Manu? It
Yeah,
was on Manu's
Manu,
podcast.
Yeah, Manu got me relaxed, and I opened up and aired out all the dirty linen.
Yeah, because I was like, how does someone go from that to this, man?
Yeah.
I mean, you got into a lot of fights, you got into a lot of arguments with teachers.
Yeah, man. I think I reason. So when I feel like you're not thinking or you're not reasoning, we sort of end up on the wrong side of each other's liking, I guess. And so I was like that most of the time. I'm from elementary school, man. I remember my first argument with the teacher was when I was in grade 5. This guy taught students something in class. And I had figured it out before he taught the thing in class. I was like, man, this is not true. He lied to the kids. And so I told the kids maybe a day or two later, I told them, man, this guy lied to us. This thing is not like this. I went and worked it out. This is how it should have been. I forget what it was. It was probably addition or subtraction. You know, that easy math, grade 5 math is nothing complicated. There's no calculus or anything. And so I don't come back to school the next day. So somehow somebody goes and snitches and tells the teacher, you know, this guy did this and that. He told us that you lied to us. So I guess the teacher went back and reviewed the concept with the students. So I come back after 2 days, and the guy's reviewing the concept in class. I'm like, whoa, someone must have sold me. So that guy was like I was on his radar through the entire time that I spent at school. But I went to 8 primary schools, 8 different primary schools.
And what's your current job right now? What do you do exactly?
I teach at McMaster University. I'm an assistant teaching professor there. I'm an assistant professor teaching stream.
But you also do stuff in the lab. What's that specifically?
So I am working on my second PhD in regenerative medicine.
Meskia. So for those guys who were getting into fights with shisha dealers and their teachers, there's a possibility that you end up doing regenerative medicine. What is regenerative medicine?
Yes.
So is it similar to what's happening in Japan, where they've developed technology to regrow teeth?
Yes, I think what you're talking about, is it teeth or the eye that they use part of the teeth to grow? Part of the tooth to grow an eye. Because you can use a lens, you can put a lens inside a tooth, and then that lens shines light on your fovea, so the retina of your eye, and then a blind person can see if they had a ruined lens, for instance.
Really?
But yes, so you could grow teeth. You could grow teeth. I mean, the concept is the same. So regenerative medicine is a discipline, is a specialist discipline, brings together the fields of biology and engineering. So we use the principles of engineering and our basic understanding of basic sciences or basic biology to regrow tissue for human transplant.
Bro, that's insane, man. What made you land on that subject?
Yeah, it's very interesting, man. So I used to work in a hospital as a biomedical engineer, and sort of I got interested in the subject.
Which was this?
It's called the Humber River Hospital in Toronto.
Okay. Let's back it up. I'm seeing a guy who's fighting with teachers. Now he's wound up all the way in Canada, right?
Yeah.
I know you've talked about it, but paint me that picture. Just give me a brief of how you got there in university. What made you decide that this is the field I want to pursue?
So after undergrad, I was admitted to go study mechatronics engineering in JQuat. And so that's what I did for 5 years. But I graduated from JQuat a half-baked is horrible, quarter-baked, maybe on 0.001 baked engineer. I used to pass by a whisker. I was a smart student. All my classmates were smart kids. I think everybody probably got an A or an A minus in high school. But we all struggled through uni because I guess our professors weren't meeting us at our points of need. So somehow we graduate with whatever we graduate with. But I don't think any of us knew what mechatronics was by the time we were graduating. I mean, we understood the concept of mechatronics, but we couldn't use it for anything. Leave that alone. I don't think there were jobs here for us in the first place. I mean, the industry wasn't going to receive us. We weren't going to be designing anything. We're probably going to become technicians fixing stuff. So anyways, while in uni, I was more interested in business. So I used to run a bunch of businesses. One of them was a charcoal business. On the side, I also used to run a filmmaking business.
Filmmaking?
Yes. So I used to make short films. But my biggest money earner was funerals. So I used to run... I had an office set up in Montezuma. Lee Funeral Home. And the other one is Umash.
Yo, by the way, like I can actually believe that because I've been to African funerals. Bro, it's a spectacle.
Of course, man, it's a spectacle.
You know how Muslims bury, right?
One day. Less than under 24 hours, maybe.
The towel under the basin.
Yep.
Wanakusafisha. Alafu wanakutupa, and then it's done.
How long? How long between your death and your...
So let's paint hypothetical scenarios. The shisha guy.
Okay.
Something happens to him. This is hypothetical. God forbid. And he passes away in the morning.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. They're going to wrap him in a white cloth. And by 4 p.m. or 6 p.m., he'll be buried the same day. So we bury after prayers.
Yeah.
There's something called ghusl, which is where you clean the body. There are undertakers that do that. But it's a very emotionally complacent, or there's no feel to it. It's just you're gone, you're in. So they extend it by a day if you have family that can travel, but they can't stretch it beyond a day, if I'm correct, right?
That's ghusl. That's the concept of ghusl.
So no, ghusl is washing the body.
Okay.
There's in terms of waiting, I'm not sure.
Waiting for interment between your death and your burying is what you're talking about.
Yeah, bro. So if the shisha guy passed away in the morning, this is hypotheticals again. God, this is a hypothetical scenario for a hypothetical shisha guy that none of us know. If they pass away in the morning, the first thing is undertaker comes, they assess. I think they have to go through. They have to get a clearance certificate on the body as well. A death certificate to rule out there was no wrongdoing or harm. And beyond, we don't believe in doing post-mortem, correct?
Oh. Yeah. So if there was foul play, what happens?
In fact, that's an interesting thing. We don't do post-mortems, do we? Islamically, that's not allowed.
No, it's looked down upon because the intention is to go back the way you came. So, like, if they start cutting you open, and it interferes with the ghusl and all.
So that's why there's some incidences of murder that come into play, but they ignore the post-mortem unless they really dive into it because it's against the religion. So you're quite literally buried then and there. Now, if you compare the emotional detachment in that entire process, and you look at, let's say, the African culture, for example, or even in Christianity. The funeral box itself, sometimes people end up spending so much money.
$1 million shillings.
Kisiangani and I were actually thinking of doing a business where...
You should, man. There's a lot of money in death.
So like an OPEX death thing. All right?
What is OPEX death? What is that?
Operational expenses.
Okay.
On a month-to-month basis. So it's a subscription-based. All right? What we do is the funeral caskets have a camera pointed at the deceased. and it's a tiered level.
That's so creepy.
So
So
if- no,
a guy.
listen, I'm walking you through the business thing. Yeah. So the guy dies. For 5 megapixel, we charge you $5 a month. So
Wait, this is inside the casket
Yeah,
after you die
yeah.
and you're buried?
Yes, you're buried.
Okay.
If you want different lights, so what happens is you can log into the app.
Yeah.
We charge you based on app usage and funeral casket amenities. All right. So you get a camera if you want a night vision camera, if you want LED lights, if you want access for 3 to 4 months, but we don't recommend beyond 3 months because then the body goes. So,
But you're still watching the decomposition. I mean, from day zero, from T0, you're still going to have decomposition.
and so we charge more as the further it goes. If you want
The more decomposed,
yeah. So
the
if
more you pay.
So let's say in your family you want 3 people to access, we charge per user. So you can see the person you love, and then we set a time limit, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, because then after that they decompose. So
But you know, there's cultures where they actually do that. They keep their loved ones in a state where they can retrieve them
yeah.
every couple of years.
In this must be fucking West Africa.
Nope, it's not in Africa. Actually, it's in the Far East, probably
No,
maybe Malaysia. or something.
South America as well.
Yeah,
One of those Mexico, whatever. Every few years they big up the bodies and they go literally party with them.
Bro,
Yeah.
I've seen some horrendous West African videos where if the guy that passes away, let's say, was a big fan of rally cars, they prop him up on a model rally car on display for a month, and the rally car goes around. And there are people grinding and dancing in front of him. But anyway, we're talking about the money aspect, right?
Wait, I have a question. How does this idea come to you?
Because,
Okay, wait, scrap that. How are you going to power whatever camera is inside the casket?
Listen, this is
you run cables.
This
I guess.
is the same idea I gave Kevin Mutiso, Eric's
You
brother.
did not give him this idea.
No, not the funeral idea, but on his podcast, he was asking me for $1 billion idea. I told him, why don't we develop an app? If your phone is low on charge, you open that app, it gives you 50% charge. And it's a subscription model. So let's say your phone is 6%. You fungua the app, we figure out a way, you press 10%, it charges you a certain percent, you get 10% charge.
Walk me through the physics of getting that to work.
Now that's why I hire you. Because right now it's a hypothetical. So I'm the guy that comes up with the ideas. Engineers come up with the back end thing.
There's easier ways of doing that. I mean, charge your phone. Carry a power bank around.
Ogato, if we're stuck in the middle of
Let
Sahara,
me do the Kabilame thing. And
imagine, guys, back me up. Imagine an app, and that's all its trouble. Bash and I had an app called Rate That Shit. There's so
Not
many
Bash,
app ideas.
you and I had it. Leave Bash. This was our idea.
Okay, so sorry. So we're talking about business ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
There's the we need a
The
name
funeral
for it.
peaking Tom.
No, what do we call it?
Life after death.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah, life after death. Yeah, life after death is a good one. So you can view your loved ones. We can charge based on that. What was the other one we were talking about? The power bank app.
The best one was Rate That Shit.
Yeah, that's
What does it do?
you find the cleanest toilets in your neighborhood.
Let me pitch this.
Public toilets?
Public toilets.
Where are public toilets available in Nairobi? Because
That's what I'm saying. Is this app? It tells you okay, under Westgate on this floor. This is the toilet.
Like, let me pitch it. Community driven. You download the app. You go to Sajid's house. You go take a dump. You go to the app and you put it higher. Location here, this floor. How is the toilet? It was clean. Was there water? Yes. Did you have tissues? Yes. You do it. And then, have you ever been like somewhere, you're like, you're like, dude, I need to take a dump, but I don't use the toilet here. You open the app and you're like, okay, so there's a clean one 5 minutes away. You can go take a dump.
including people's homes?
Yeah.
Not homes, but you know what I mean. Like if
Okay.
you're at a mall, like Sajid Center, the new wing toilets are better than the old wing toilets. So if you go far left, you get better toilets than the other ones.
Okay, but now a new app idea, the Goon app.
I think that would work right
That would
now.
work, right?
Yeah,
What's
because I think everybody needs a goon right now. So it's like an Uber for goons.
Yeah. So let's say our favorite podcaster every other time with Eric, he's upset us this week.
Okay.
I don't even message him.
Just
Send a goon.
okay. So the app is called Send a Goon.
Yeah. They go the Safisha Mutiso.
You'll be walking
And
down
then
the
imagine
street.
the funny thing is Mutiso sends them back to me.
Of course, man. Same guys.
In
Same
here,
guys.
same-
Nearest goons.
he reverse who knows me. So I'm like, have you guys done the job? Then they come and sufficient me.
You'd be walking down the street, man, and guys are hitting you, and you're like, "What's going on?" They're not even stealing from you, man. They're just hitting you, beating you up, and then they let you go.
Jumping you with yellow pages.
But I think that's horrible, man. I think that's where we're headed, though. I mean, we sort of have an Uber for goons. We're not as sophisticated, but it's there somewhere.
It is, because it's coming to a place where, and the audience, I apologize, this is typical coffee pump. We
Congo?
start in a different place.
Of course,
We
man.
end up chopping Mutiso. And then we come back over here. But now, on the topic of goons, we had Odipodev guys on.
Okay.
They did a deep dive into goon culture. And it's pretty much becoming like a private militia for hire.
Yeah.
And in one ways, it can level the playing field depending on who you are. So, for example, the argument was before power, in order to access it, you need a lot of money, influence. So, politicians with cops.
Yeah.
And if there's a land deal that you need to get rid of squatters, then it's your land, you would have to go up the chain. You can't just get rid of them. Now, all of a sudden, you can hire a bunch of goons for 20,000 bob who will go, and there's no tie to you, and they will do the dirty work. So there's an appeal for the normal wananchi, whether it comes to lovers' quarrels, whether it comes to land disputes, whether it comes to business disputes. You can use goons now. Do you get what I mean? So the kind of state we're becoming as Kenya.
Yeah.
So,
I
for
think
example,
the bad thing is that goons are now available for everyone. You know, goons are. I don't think they're a new thing in my culture. In Kisi culture, we have people called chinkoro. So chinkoro were like, when they started off, I think they were the warriors of the tribe. But I guess as time went by, there was no job for them anymore, and so now you can hire them to go and do your dirty work.
Right.
But they only used to be afforded by politicians and stuff like that. But now anybody can afford them.
But let's say the shisha guy, if it comes to the point where he doesn't return you money, you go to the cops. What will the cops do?
Well, most of the time, I think
They'll
they
arrest
are-
you because shisha is illegal, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you pay them some money, I guess they overlook that and go and do the thing to the
But
guy.
that's the thing. What Odipodev was saying is the systemic failure of the structures meant to protect us and uphold the common wananchi are failing, and so people resort to finding privatized solution. And in a way, goons is one of the results.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's the same principle with, people using generators for electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
Because-
Water tanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Giving containers business and stuff like that. Do you think there's a motivation for Kentank and all these other guys? I don't know. Maybe Kentank is your friend, but do you know if there's a motivation for them to? There's no motivation for the government to create sustainable water systems, and that gives opportunity for companies like Container and etc. to stay in business.
So here's how economics works within countries where there's no solid structures. Okay. And I'm looking at it from a business perspective. I cause a problem and I fund the solution. So if in Nigeria, I know there's no power,
Yeah, man.
I fund the solution by generators. And eventually the generators and fuel supplying the generators get so big that if that industry were to work, it will compromise the business I've created.
Yeah.
And so what I try and do is make sure the industry as a whole doesn't work. So you have cartels running it. Now, within Kenya, water, electricity, food, so on and so forth. If those structures are compromised and someone further up the chain profits from giving you a solution from structures that doesn't work, and that solution proves to be somewhat effective and generates them a lot of money, they will not want the system to work because then it compromises that business model.
Of course.
So do you get it?
Of course. Have you been to Nigeria a couple of times?
Yes.
I imagine. I've not been, but a friend of mine told me, man, that if the power goes 9 months straight, no power.
Yeah, bro, it's weird. Everywhere you go, gen sets are everywhere. You hear
Everywhere.
generators roaring.
And you gotta, I get chain it to your gate or something because somebody can carry it away.
Nigeria is rough, bro. Nigeria is. If you want to experience it, I highly recommend everyone to go. For me,
To experience the dysfunction?
You see, the thing is, there's so many extremes with Nigeria. Opulence, poverty, and everything in between sort of gets phased out. And what I mean by that is the normalcy you expect in the European countries is not there, right? When you look at the traffic, when you look at the way people treat accidents, let's reference the famous boxer, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
You saw what happened to the way his friends died and
Yeah.
mauled. Very rare for you to see such accidents in developed countries and the
course, man.
response to them. That was harrowing. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that video.
I
Go
haven't
and try
seen
to look it up. It
I haven't
is.
seen the video, but I mean, I've read the story, man.
These
It's-
boys are headless, bro. Headless.
And people are there all over
Recording
them.
videos in that Nigerian accent and voice. They're trying to help him out, but other guys are just trying to steal and pillage and pilfer from the dead bodies.
But it's the same thing that happens here when you get in an accident.
So that's what I'm saying is now Nigeria is the extreme of everything.
Okay.
It's a population of 150 million plus people, very crowded, rich in oil, okay? But oil is only accessible to a certain percentage of people.
Yeah.
So the further the disparity from the rich and the poor, the middle class dissipates.
Yeah.
So you're either on one end or the other.
Or the other.
So middle class doesn't exist. And whatever middle class issues you're starting to see happen over here, from cost of living, affordability, construction of houses have become the quality. There's so many houses, the quality is so cheap, right?
Yeah. The
Because
quality of the
they-
house in Nigeria.
I mean, if you look at Kenya as an example, look
Yeah.
at South Sea recently, what happened? How many buildings have collapsed?
A bunch.
Look at Kilimani, look at the way people in compounds that were meant to house 4 people, we now have a 400 apartment complex.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, it's times 10 of everything.
Holy.
Whether
okay.
it's and that's from the good to the medium to the bad.
Do you
It's
think-
100x of everything.
Do you think the reason why Nigerians are so hardworking and they are very motivated is because of what they go through in their country?
Yeah, 100%. It's the same thing. Like if you look at Nigerians, they're more widespread than Kenyans. Numbers, but also a lot of them are educated.
Yeah.
And a lot of them want to escape poverty. Right? Because the opportunities over there are few and far in between, but the population is high. So it motivates them to stretch beyond the confines of Nigeria to go and look for jobs.
Are there people of Indian heritage who are Nigerian?
Yeah.
Many?
Yeah.
Like there are
There's I think
globally?
there's 3rd, 4th generation Indians
Okay.
who've been there. In West Africa, one thing I found when I went to Ivory Coast, there was Lebanese. Quite a lot of Lebanese in Ivory Coast, and they've been there for generations. But I saw a lot of Lebanese influence there and a lot of Middle Eastern influence in Nigeria as well. I think maybe from an industry perspective, they've been there for quite a while. But fucking Indians you'll find everywhere, bro.
Of course, man.
And they speak like when you speak to them, they sound Nigerian, so you can't even.
Oh, really?
It looks
The
very
accent
weird.
is
Like this Chuti. Let's put up Fazaz's picture over here on screen, and then put up like an audio note of a Nigerian guy talking.
Babe, when I saw you today, you just entered my oculus.
AI can do that now.
Yeah. Can you mark that so it's done, please? So we get a picture of Fazza and we put Nigerian guy
Tell
talking
me,
in the
what is
background.
that you just did there? The marking. The roadcast allows you to.
You can put a flag, and then
can't
afterwards you
hear
can
you.
look at it.
That's a Nigerian, you know.
Never unmuted. You can put a flag on the track, and then when you look at
Okay.
it at that timestamp in a audio software, you can see there.
What do you guys use to edit your audio?
So I edit the audio. So
Or do you do everything on Resolve?
no, I use Audacity for the audio.
Oh, okay. And so
Resolve-
it will show up in Audacity.
So no. You have to use something like Adobe Audition or
Oh,
the
okay.
Rode app.
I see. Yeah.
Audacity can be very weird. And then even in Resolve, you have to import a certain thing. Magic, you just throw it into the Roadcaster app, and then it shows up.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, but
I forgot my train of thought. Sorry, I was going to abuse you for something.
I
My
think-
accent.
we were talking about putting an AI on his voice.
Yeah. But were we abusing Shisha guy or no? Wait, what were we
No,
doing?
we're done with the shisha guy.
We're done with
I mean,
shisha.
what I was saying is this: the we're talking about the fact that there's Indians everywhere. So equally, there's Nigerians everywhere. I mean, one in every 6 black people you meet is Nigerian.
So that tells you how big the population is, right?
It's very big, and I think they're also very motivated, very pushy, and they sort of make you uncomfortable sometimes.
We had I'm not sure if we've talked about this on the podcast, but we had a Nigerian lady who was part of the negotiation with our. Did we talk about it on the live stream? Yeah, bro. It was a very difficult negotiation. Just
Pushy.
Very pushy.
Pushy like I know what I want and I deserve it, or pushy like I don't care about you, so we're just gonna do what I say.
I mean, the way I would describe it is, let's say, I tell you I can build this bridge in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You hop on the call and you say, no, I want it in 1 week. And we're like, okay, where are you basing that 1 week from? And they were like, well, before you told us you could do it in 1 week. I'm like, okay, fine. But that was 3-4 years ago and costs have changed to build the bridge. So as components, it's difficult.
Yeah.
What we can do is 4 weeks. Okay? And you have to understand the company is different now because we have new owners, new structures. So there's a lengthy approval process compared to when we were a startup and everything was getting done on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
No. 1 week. And this cost. And I need it by end of business today.
Yeah. So keep insisting, keep pushing. This is what I want.
And we're like,
that's not a negotiation.
You do understand, I can't make the decision. I have to escalate it to a group MD.
Yeah.
Who has to then give an approval for them to us process it. No. 1 week. Don't eat my head on call, please. I don't have time for this. I've just joined this, and talking like that to my bosses as well. I was like, okay. And it's not the first time that has happened.
And so this is a client or a supplier?
A potential client.
Okay, I see.
So,
what do you do in that case?
You keep cool. You can say what you want outside of the call, but whenever it comes to that, I think the reason I release all my frustration on Fazza is because I take so much shit as a sales guy. So I'm the punching bag. And
then Fazza becomes the ultimate punching bag.
Yeah, but 9 out of 10 experiences with clients, customers, have always been positive. But 1 out of 10, you'll get a very unreasonable person. It just turned out this time it was a Nigerian.
I have a proposal.
Tell me, bro.
You know, Obina is doing these Vurugu things.
Vurugu means what?
Vurugu fight.
Boxing. Yes.
Boxing, yeah. So I think you and Fazza should go on Vurugu. And let's get the ultimate.
No, actually, what I think that's a good.
Because I mean, you keep saying every time I'm listening to you with Bash over here, Fazza this, Fazza that. I'm listening to you with I don't know, Eric, Fazza this. So I think we should settle this.
So it's become a running joke, and we're just going to ride into it. But what I'm thinking is, it'll be very unfair.
Okay.
Just Fazza and me. So put Moas, Fazza, and me. Me against Moas and Fazza. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Eric was saying me and Moas would fight each other. I love Moas. I love his energy. But just to make it fair, put Fazza and Moas against me.
You think you beat them both?
Well, I'll fuck them up.
You can't.
Fazza is actually like to be fair, Fazza has been at a place when I'm fighting with someone and he's seen my capabilities. Maybe you can comment on that.
What do I say? If I say he's good at fighting, it means he can beat me. If I say he sucks, he's going to beat me.
No, but genuinely, let us be honest. If I were to fight with you today,
no,
but Fazza, if you were a random person, you met me, and we were to get into a fight, what do you think would happen to you based on what you know about me?
I would call Omer.
Yeah,
Omer is your
MMA coach.
Okay.
But now he's disappeared to Thailand, bro. He's going to appel. So I haven't trained MMA in long. I'll get my ass whooped.
What is he doing in Thailand now?
He's improving his skills. So he's gone there now to train amongst the elite.
Do they do this in like a dojo or something like that?
He's now, they're not really dojos, but specifically Muay Thai gyms.
Okay.
And he's in Phuket. So I think it's towards the south. We were there, in fact, in 2024 when we went to Thailand and we went to Phuket. And he's just living the lifestyle. And the lifestyle is you get up, you live at the gym.
Yeah.
And everything is centered around the gym, the training, the clients, the people you're dealing with, because people come there to train. So you know how we have your circle of podcasters? You have just people coming globally to improve their Muay Thai skills.
And this would be potential coaches or just normal people, like you'd go and hang out over there and you want to.
It's a mix. It's
Okay.
pro level,
Mhm.
Anthony Joshua type boxers coming over there to learn about MMA,
Mhm. Then me level.
and then
Which is like
common guys just going to
Yeah.
learn and live the lifestyle.
cool.
And so he
Would you do that though?
Bro, I'd love to do that.
What's holding you back?
I have a wife now.
That's why I looked there.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, the perfect life for me
Mhm.
is a lot of money, inshallah.
Yeah.
And I get up, there's a MMA gym outside, and Omer is there full time. And then all our meals are taken care of by a chef, and then video games and podcasts.
I was in Austin, Texas, visiting IQ Watson. Joe Rogan's
Home
experience, home
Yeah.
ground is over there. So do you think that's how he... I mean, I've never gotten someone to explain what goes on in the Joe Rogan experience. Do you understand everything that goes on?
Apparently, he flies you in
Mhm.
the night before, they host you, take you out for a great steak dinner or wherever your preference is, at his podcast studio. So there's been levels to how he did it. Initially, he was doing it at home.
Yeah.
But then he started getting such crazy guys at home. He's like, I can't expose my daughters to these people. So they went to a mall, and in the mall they took like a section of a place. It was just a studio and a hangout area with a cigar lounge.
Yeah.
And then eventually they went and took a warehouse. Now within that warehouse is the Joe Rogan experience, where
Okay.
when you're flown in, there's an archery post because he loves archery. There's a whole gym if you want to work out with him. Red light therapy. There's his art collection. It's a whole thing where you can live off there.
Is that your ultimate goal then?
That would be-
something similar?
Yeah, bro.
I was
And getting the
talking-
shisha guy banned.
I was talking to
What's your ultimate goal?
my ultimate. So I have this ranch in Isinya, and that's what I've been thinking about. So I'm working towards getting my PPL.
The piloting?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And so maybe I'll be flying over guys from, I don't know, Wilson or wherever.
That's nice.
And then, but I don't have enough land for a landing strip. I have land for the ranch, but it's not long. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like square. So if I wanted a runway, I would need to buy more land, kind of like plots that are thin. Is it thin? Maybe not the word, but like narrower.
Narrower, yeah.
But then, so that I can extend that patch to have a landing strip over there. But that's my ultimate goal.
That's nice.
So-
That's actually a brilliant
Yeah, so I'm
idea.
putting up a lake over there. I love fishing.
What do you mean you're putting up a lake? You can grow a lake.
Yeah, I'm putting up a lake. I will. I'm putting up a man-made lake, man. I've traveled the world and I've seen that anything is possible, man. I just need money.
What goes into making a lake?
You dig the earth out and you pour water in.
Na samaki watatoka wapi?
I'll introduce the fish.
Hey, by the way, clearly it's the end of the day today. So it's not like you plant a seed and then they grow.
What the? Wait, I have a suggestion for your landing problem.
Yeah.
You put a target on the ground and they just parachute in.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe,
You see why I want to chop? You see why I want to chop at this guy?
Think about it.
I got
So
a land too. How do I get on the ground?
Here's what will happen on the fight with me and Moas and him.
Yeah.
Moas will join me in chopping Fazah.
No, but like
So it'll become two against
you have
one.
a landing
Creative.
problem. Just halo jump, land. Whoever lands closest to
you know
the
what? Probably the what. So I've been avoiding. So I learning to fly a helicopter is very expensive, and helis are
Yeah, not hell.
expensive. So I've been thinking about VTOL, the vertical takeoff and landing planes, drone sort of thing. But they're also expensive, probably way out of my reach and maybe unsafe. You saw the thing that Muaf was flying in China.
Yes, the one with four rotors. Yeah.
it had 4 rotors.
Okay, how Isinya is how far?
It's like a 2 hour. It's a 2 hour drive from Nairobi.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what you do.
Mhm.
We're building Ogato's experience. So, fuck the flying.
Mhm.
Right? You know those massive vans for 32 passengers.
Yeah.
You convert it to host 6 people. All right? Comfortable seats where you can lay back, TV, sound things. VVIP. All right?
Mhm.
You get driven to the farm. On the farm, you have a shooting range, you have an archery range, you have a swimming pool, you've got a gym, you've got a mini club at night where we can chill, a cigar lounge. All right? You've got farm-fed grown meat over there, everything over there.
Good.
Right. Then we steal all the shisha guys' stuff. Well, hopefully it's legal by that time. We work a lounge over there.
Mhm.
And then you have overnight hotels where people can stay, like accommodation. And the accommodation is your 5-star level beds. You know the sofa. Have you ever slept in a bed where you just disappear inside the bed? Not the ones like Fazaz without springs, but the hotel ones. Those very comfortable ones.
Yeah, the foam memory ones.
The foam memory
foam,
ones. Yeah, memory foam ones. So you have that, and you spend the night, and then the next day, depending on the guest, maybe the guest is an early riser, late riser, you start the podcast and you just enjoy, and there's a barbecue done after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sort of the plan, man. I mean, putting up A-frames, or what they're called, so putting up A-frames on the lake, and then container homes that go over the lake.
How big is a piece of land?
So right now it's 10 acres, but I'm planning to add. So the guy is selling more, so I'm probably gonna get 10 more.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's a dope idea.
But then I was looking at this thing in Naivasha, man. They have an idea sort of similar to mine. They call it there's something. What's his name? The cybersecurity guy. What's his name?
Cybersecurity guy. Which one?
The Ghanaian guy.
Is it
Kenyan guy.
Bright Gameli?
Yeah, Brett Gameli. So Brett Gameli posted something this morning. It was in some lake house in Naivasha. But they have 1,000 acres, yo. Their ranch is 1,000 acres. So I was like, man, my 10-acre ranch doesn't even cut it.
Okay, so if we do, and here's another thing, we can do a quad bike experience. Quad bikes for your guests.
Yeah, all that. So the way I've designed the land, I have everything designed on my iPad. I have sort of a forested area in part of the land. So the forest is actually growing right now, and then the lake is part of the land. So the lake takes up 2 acres of the land,
Bro.
and then we have a stream, so a river sort of stream. So we have a water fountain. The water is circulated, and I have a filtration system that I've been working. So I'm working on this on a smaller scale. I have a smaller farm in Nakuru, and so I've been doing this there on a smaller scale, just test it out. Because the worst thing that would happen is for you to have a massive lake and then it's all green. So I want the water to be clear so I can see the bottom of the lake.
You know, because you have to make sure it runs, because when it's still, then you get algae and then you get fucking mosquitoes. So you have to find a way to.
Yeah, of course, mosquitoes will be the worst experience because you don't want people sleeping over there. And
can we talk about money? How much would all that cost?
I don't know, man. So the first phase cost me 20 million, probably 20 million shillings. And the first phase will be putting up the lake and 2 A-frames.
And when do you plan on doing the first phase by, bro?
In the next 5 years.
Right, so clearly Ogato is making money in whichever field he is. And this is a money-making podcast.
Have you guys seen Jake Paul's ranch?
Mm-mm.
The one in South America?
Yeah, the one he bought for $32 million.
Hey.
Right, you guys, it's exactly what you guys are describing, actually.
Yeah, but over there, things are, they are, the prices are over, they're blown up. The figures are blown up.
Was it in Texas? Was it in North? Was it in America or in South America? In South America, I know they live on like a very luxury compound with like paddle courts, and Jake Paul stays here, Logan Paul stays.
No, it's in America.
It's
The
in
US.
America. It's in the US.
Yeah, so in the US, things are going to be expensive. So the same thing in America will probably cost you.
I saw that they were flying with
an eighth of the price over here.
they were flying with a plane. Logan Paul.
He has a learning strip, quad bikes, shooting range, like a whole forest, a whole lake to his name.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ogato, that's the plan, man. But together we need to do some crazy shit.
Of course, man. That's why I'm over here, man, grinding like crazy.
So Nikuli, let's talk. Can we talk about money?
Sure.
How is the field you're working in? Is it very lucrative?
So research is, as a researcher, you are an employee. As an employee, you are basically paid whatever employees are paid. So you probably live middle class, $100,000 a year, probably. Maybe maximum, probably $300,000 a year if you're going to be a researcher.
Is $300,000 comfortable in Canada?
That's way more than comfortable. But the Canadian government takes away. So the moment you cross $250,000, it starts taking $1 for $1.
So it becomes
Taxes.
50% tax.
Yeah, 50% tax
That's
after $250,000.
Fucked up, bro.
Yeah, man.
So that means if you get to 250 plus, you need to have a bigger jump, because then it's more harmful for you.
So what you do when you're at that point, you got to figure out a way of having a corporation so the corporation gets paid.
Will talk to me more about that. So can we do this in Kenya?
I'm not sure it will work in Kenya because we don't have similar systems in Kenya. So the corporation is contracted by your employer. So medical doctors are famous for doing this because medical doctors earn way more than $250,000. And so if your salary is going to be slashed like that, then you're going to end up with very little. And so what they would do, they would set up a corporation, then the corporation gets paid, but then they bill everything to the corporation. So at the end of the day, they pay less tax, way less tax than they should be paying.
Right. So then the corporation retains majority of the salary, and then your expenses can be routed through the corporation
Exactly.
as
So
business
your
expenses.
home will be owned by the corporation. Your car will be owned by the corporation. Your trips are paid for by the corporation because you are an employee of your corporation, and so on. So that's sort of the way to work around it. But going back to your original question, as a researcher, you are probably going to end up at $300,000, and that's going to be like your ceiling as an associate or a full professor. Most professors only end up as associate. A handful end up becoming full professors. But anyway, so the other way to go about it is to monetize your research. So to find a way of making it financially viable.
How do you do that?
You partner with the industry, and so they manufacture. So as a researcher, you don't have the scale or the equipment or the capacity to take whatever research you've been working on and turn it into a product. So you need an industry, an industrial partner. So industrial partners, you sort of create a corporation. So you will have to clip this part out, the part of the figure. But founded a company a couple of years ago, and when he sold the company, so they were making.
Can we bleep it? Can we bleep it? We'll just bleep
figure, yes.
with the coffee bomb thing.
So they made a contrast agent for CT scan. I think they were using diamond as the nanoparticle element. So by the time they were selling that off, they sold the company for, and he part of that, I think he ended up with. That was.
We'll bleep whatever the amount of
Yes.
but that
So the amount you gotta bleep them.
just bleep and put the. But
Yeah, and I think you have also got to bleep because
even when I say so, I'll stop saying it because you'll have to bleep a lot more. But
We're bleeping. Nice.
yeah. So it's gonna be like my.
my papa. Okay. But if you get that amount and you just put in fixed deposit, bro, so you're sorted out.
Yeah, so fixed deposit. I'm not sure fixed deposit is the best way to go about it.
How would you invest that?
So ETFs. So I do ETFs and I
Leverage trading.
So I do ETFs and I look at anything that gets anywhere between 8 and 12% per year. I do dividend only ETFs. So by recently I made a big gamble. I sold everything that's to my name, not the family's or my wife's name. Sold everything and invested in what you call it, the thing that goes up to
SpaceX.
So when SpaceX did the IPO, I was the first Canadian to buy SpaceX shares. So you see my Instagram, I'm the first investor in SpaceX. That's Canadian context.
But you know the stocks have dropped, right?
It doesn't matter, man. Elon Musk. So I decided to do what? I decided to believe in Elon Musk. I don't have to like the guy. As a person, I don't think it's easy.
No, he's brilliant, but I'm trying to understand.
So my thinking is this, and it will be horrible thinking. Good thing it's my money, it's on my family's money or my wife's money. And so my thinking is this. This guy has turned other guys into billionaires. I also want to become a billionaire. And
so you exclusively invested all of your stocks in SpaceX?
Yes.
Only?
Yes.
Okay, how much in the red are you right now from when you bought the SpaceX IPO?
I have decided not to look at it for the next 1 year.
Okay, so
because I don't want a heart attack.
So you're not leverage trading. You're just buying stocks and holding.
I'm holding it, and I'm going to be holding it for probably the next 10 years.
What was your entry point?
The first day.
So what was it? 110.
Something like that. 119 maybe when I got in. Something like that.
Ogato.
Yes.
I would have done I would have sold it. Okay, here's the thing. When you're investing in a business, you have to look at the return.
Yeah.
Right, which is the common aspect. If you're investing in a supermarket, if you're investing in a clothing company, what do the returns look like? And if there are no returns because the overall cost is high, you look at EBITDA, earnings before income tax and deductions. The thing with SpaceX is the amount of money they're spending, there's no revenue they're bringing in back, right? There is a Starlink aspect, which is unique.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that is, I believe, a game changer. Connectivity without fiber, wherever you go, as long as you have access to the sky. The one unique element I'll give for SpaceX is it's banking on emotional support as well, because this is someone that's saying we're going to Mars, and so traditional reasoning sort of doesn't apply there because you're doing something that's beyond the bottom line,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And Mars and the life after, and discovering the entity and discovering what's beyond space. So that may have something that maybe rises the stock. But right now I'm a bit hesitant on SpaceX.
It's my.
But if you're holding for 10
thinking is
years,
this.
yeah.
My thinking is this: so China and their technonauts are trying to, make it in space.
Yes.
And so since NASA is unable to leverage their abilities competitively against the technonauts,
Yeah.
they are going to rely on SpaceX and their rockets and whatever. And so for that reason, the American government contract themselves, I think, going to be lucrative enough for a SpaceX to thrive over the next couple of years. But Elon Musk's personality by itself is what's going to make SpaceX valuable. I think if Elon Musk were to drop there today, I probably would have made the greatest mistake of my life. So long as the guy is alive, and the emotional support, the emotional expectation of all the Americans are going to keep propping the value of SpaceX, I think there's value there. And the reason why I think that it is possible is because look at they brought out the worst looking car in the world. What do you call it? The
Tesla.
My brother calls it a dustbin on wheels. What do you call it?
The Cybertruck?
The Cybertruck.
I think it's a handsome car, bro.
Yeah, for you, man. I think the thing looks horrible, man. You see it on the street, man. When it's that silver metallic color, man, it looks horrible, man. And also, the workmanship too is so questionable.
Okay.
But it's American, so Americans love their things, and I guess for whatever reason, there's still some value there. Look at so you look at Tesla, the value of Tesla, and look at the value of BYD. BYD, I think, is producing amazing stuff.
Very, 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 very good.
Of course, with the questionable support from the Chinese government and propping up of their value from the Chinese government. But even with all the value they're bringing out, the Americans and the emotional support of Tesla is still, way up there. IQ took me to the Tesla factory. It's a kilometer long, man.
Yeah, it's
Huge.
crazy.
Yeah.
So maybe before Fazal steps in, what I'll say is, when you invest in something, you expect returns, correct? And the returns for SpaceX are coming in via government funding and projects to go on and see forth. But look at it as a business. What makes sense from a revenue perspective for something that doesn't generate revenue as per se? I need to look at it in more, and maybe there are viewers who understand the business, the macroeconomics. If I were to invest in AI companies right now, I feel they are hyperinflated, but AI is here to stay. Okay, AI is changed fundamentally the way we work. So once the correction happens, I would invest in an AI company because as a business model,
After the correction happens.
I understand AI will legitimately change the way things work. And it has. You're seeing it. All of us use AI. So it's a tool that you invest in. Business gives a company AI tools. They pay them an OPEX. And you see how that transaction works. So you can understand the business model. With space, unless there's some avatar type discovery where they discover this new mineral.
Doesn't have to make sense, man. We buy diamonds all the time over here. It rains diamonds in whatever freaking planet that is.
Yeah.
Right? It's all in the mind, man. I started looking at, a few years ago, I started looking at money like bonga points. That was probably a year ago. So when I'm paid money in Canada, I never see my money. Money will come into I've never held cash for years. I mean, for years.
Yeah, that's a good.
Let me lay my thought process. So I never used to see money coming in. I would see money coming in, and then it would go out this way. I would invest a little, but then I had my expenses were way up there at this point. And so one day I told myself, you know what? Money is like bonga points. You know the Safaricom bonga points? At this long ago, we used to hold money in your hand, and you would feel it. And I guess before that, there was like cowrie shells and all this barter trade and stuff like that, and things were tangible. But right now, I feel like money is like these bonga points. You don't see them. It's like it doesn't exist. It's not there. And so the moment I detached my emotion from money, I think I became very happy. And so what I've done here is to detach my emotion from money, but at the same time, hold on to the hope that, I'm a very hopeful guy, the hope that Elon Musk is going to be alive for the next 10 years.
The reason you're able to detach emotionally from money
Mhm.
is one reason. It's because you have plenty of it.
Okay. That's possible.
I'm a sales director at a probably reputable firm,
Mhm.
right? I have access to money.
Mhm.
I spend a shitload of it and I make a shitload of it.
Mhm.
But my emotional attachment is quite there because I'm going through it in a place where I don't have a nest. That if anything goes wrong, these guys are taken care of, I'm taken care of, I'm fine. That's a very privileged position to be in. So you understand the emotional nuances you have where you can let a huge amount like that just sit and say, let's think about it in 10 years. That's that. And how old are you, bro?
I'm 36-year-old man.
That's fucking amazing, man. Shout out to you. And I appreciate that. Maybe to tie in more into an investment strategy. Let's say you have $100,000 today. I give it to you, right? You have $100,000 coming in today. You don't have any savings. You don't have anything. How do you split that?
I think everything would probably go into an ETF hedging the S&P 500.
No, when I'm considering cost of living, this, that. How do you
So I
segregate
asked the
it?
question again then.
Yeah.
Ask the question again.
So what was the question? All right. Let's say you get 100,000 today. How do you distribute it?
100,000 shillings.
$100,000. You have no money. All right. You've started a new job. Okay. All your savings have gone through. You paid $100,000 this month. How do you separate it? What does the investment look like? How much percentage you put in saving? How much percentage you put in your expenses, your lifestyle? What do you keep away for a rainy day?
So for the way it's worked for me, I think it's always been 80% of my money has gone into investment.
Jesus Christ.
But I also, you said something here that you talked about privilege. And so my wife and I are privileged to work. And so it is possible for us to do that. And now that you give that perspective, man, I don't know if my answer is valuable. You know what I mean?
No, so, and maybe let me frame it better this way.
And so the reason is this. I have a goal. I have a goal of coming back in 2035. I'm resigning. I'm stepping down or whatever, at whatever level of employment I'll be then. I am resigning in 2035. I'm officially retiring in 2035. November 8, 2035 will be my last day of work.
How old will you be then?
I'll be 45.
Okay.
The reason why I want to retire then is because I was born when my grandfather was 49 years old. My grandfather retired 6 years later. So by the time I got to experience my grandfather, he was already retired at 55. And I think from then he was just living. But I think that he would have lived better if he retired earlier. And so I'm thinking that if I retire earlier, when I still have strength, I don't want to retire when I'm 65, man, and I can't do anything. I said my grandfather is 85 now, or 87, something like that now. And he's quite old. I think that he hasn't experienced he should have experienced the world when he was younger.
So in order for you to retire, you're obviously living on savings. Is there a number you have in mind? And I asked Eric this. What's that number in mind?
Yeah, so my number a couple of years ago was $1 million, and then I got kids. So my number now is $2.4 million.
Just to live off.
Yes.
With $2.4 million, what are you investing it in?
Same thing, man. Dividend paying ETFs.
Dividend paying. So, okay. With SpaceX, is the ETFs you invested in, is there dividend paying on that? Or
No.
that's just
So I used to invest in ETFs before,
Yeah.
dividend paying ETFs before SpaceX. So SpaceX, I just took everything that I own and put it in.
And what were you investing in?
So anything that had the S&P 500, I did a little bit of Fidelity. I did a little bit of, what's the other company called? There's another company in the US. I forget. So the thing is,
So you would put it in firms that have spread their portfolio, amongst Alphabet Company.
Because I used to struggle. So I used to stock pick before pre-2020. I used to stock pick. I would be there, in the morning. I'm like, okay, so which is the best stock to buy today? Oh, my TD Bank. I'll buy TD Bank. But then tomorrow I'm like, oh, TD Bank is down. Maybe I should have bought a different one. And so at this point, I think you were never taught investment too. So I didn't have anybody to teach me investment. And so one day I learned on this guy, this Canadian guy, I forget his name. He retired a few years ago and moved down to Panama. So I watched his videos, and what the guy was doing, him and his wife were investing in ETFs. So they did dividend paying ETFs, and it made sense to me. So after listening to him, he talked about the different. So there's different investment accounts in Canada, and at this point, I had no clue about them. I mean, I was just trying to earn a living, and I thought that investing in whatever was the best thing. And so first of all, the first mistake that I made was the way that I was investing. So I was using a bank. The bank was my stockbroker basically, and the bank was taking away 10% of every dollar that I was investing. It's like you've lost from the get-go.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
So and then later on, free apps came on. So Wealthsimple is what I use now, or what I used to use, and Wealthsimple is free. You basically use it to. I don't know if you know Questrade. Is it here or something like that?
No.
Yeah. But so that's what I use now. That's what I've been using for, and that's what my wife uses as well.
I might use Ogato to open an account and fund it, because here in Kenya we're sort of short-strapped on what we can invest on.
So my brother and I, so I call him my brother, but it's my friend from high school. I don't have siblings. So my brother and I have been thinking about it. We're like, we should come up with a way of having Kenyans invest in this Canadian or American companies by having a way of, working with a back-end app that works with Wealthsimple or something like that. And then we can have guys invest here. But I thought that there's something similar that is available for people in Kenya to invest in American companies.
There's a particular app called Dovu, but again, these are not guys who have, like, they're not listed on the S&P 500. They're brokerage firms, essentially what it is, right? And I would rather have, the problem with brokerage firms here is they're not held up to the same accountability standards as what's done in Canada or America. And your recuperation, if something were to go wrong in Kenya, would take years compared to the facilities and structures set up in Canada. What I'm thinking is this. Let's say I want to invest $1,000, right? You can open up an account for me and you just charge me a rate to open up that account. And so whenever people make whatever, and then maybe you get you fix a percentage.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. So Moseti and I were thinking of how to do it, because what the Canadian government is good on is taxing you. So you give me that money to me as Ogato, the Canadian government will look at it as an income that I had from somewhere, and then it will tax me. I mean, there's also sort of ways to go about it. I think if the account weren't a registered account, so registered account is a TFS, a tax savings account that's registered, RSP, registered retirement savings. What does the P stand for? I forget.
We can search. Can you just search what that means?
Yeah, RSP. So those are registered. I think those are what would have an implication on tax. But I think if it is an unregistered account, which is like sort of like an account that you open, then I think you only get charged on the tax. On the tax when you make money. What do you call that?
But what I'm actually thinking of is actually to avoid Canada entirely. And again,
look at this guy talking to me right now. We're gonna do something in Canada. It's like, no, but I want to avoid Canada entirely.
Because you brought up a very good point about the tax system, and tax system in Canada is fucked. Dubai.
Yeah.
Because Dubai, solid structures, from a legal perspective, you're covered. Has access to world trading platforms. Zero tax. If we do something through Dubai and give Kenyans access,
that would be beautiful.
Yeah, because straight away, if I benefit from it, Dubai doesn't take any tax. If it does, it's 5%.
Do they?
Yeah.
At some point?
I'll have to double check this. It's a fact-checking back end thing. But I'd rather pay 5% than go to Canada and be taxed 50% if I make $1 million profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the appeal to Dubai, is you curb down on the initial stomping ground. And here's the thing. The reason a lot of politicians and rich folks are going to Dubai to open up accounts is because they don't ask questions. You want to put in $2-3 million, they're not going to ask you where this money comes from. You just open up your account.
How do you take the money? Do you wire it?
Hawala.
Okay.
I think Hawala systems, that would be easier. This is hypothetically, by the way. So I don't know what Hawala is. Hawala sounds like a sweet dish.
But let me ask a question in your plan here. You go to Dubai, you open your company, people can invest through your company to the S&P 500, right?
No, what I'm saying is there are platforms that people can already invest in the S&P 500.
In Kenya? Or
in Dubai.
Okay.
So we just need a middleman who facilitates the process there and takes a percentage of the transaction.
But see there, if you invest in S&P 500, you still need an account in the States. You still need...
No, the middleman is the one that initiates the process and makes money from initiating that process. You see, the thing is, today, if I need to open up a UK Forex trading account, I need a UK account, I need a this, I need a bank, I need a this, right? You need everything. You can't get those details here. It's the same fucking issue we were dealing with yesterday. We were trying to buy Xbox top-up points, but they're giving me an address in fucking US, and my DTB card was not fucking working. That same issue, this company creates for you a block over there. This is your account. This is where you invest in. This is what you'll do. This is how much you give us. And in order for us to maintain on top, we charge a percentage.
It's like
They
a
then give
management fee.
Yeah. Then you use that bank account. You use those things to open different trading platform investments. Do you get what I mean? No one's doing that right now, because if I go and eToro trading platform, anything, I have to get a US address, I have to get a US PIN, I have to do this. So this entity sorts that out for you.
The Dubai entity.
The Dubai entity.
Yeah.
And I'd rather we do it in Dubai because of the taxes.
Yeah, possibly. I think are you aware of the term Schlep blindness?
Now, what is that, bro?
So it's the concept that there are some things which are just hard to execute, and so people overlook them all the time. So for instance, transferring money between Canada and the US is so hard.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
So sending money to America, man, so you see the way we have me sending money to Kenya, just getting in some app like Lemfi or something. I don't know. I hope there's not like us marketing them by
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Lemfi, and I'll send money to my Kenyan account or whatever, and it's straightforward. But sending money to America, man, it's got to go through a wire transfer, and it takes days. So the only other way to do it is going through MoneyGram or
Cashify.
what's Cashify? I'm not sure what Cashify.
Is there Cashify app?
PayPal, Zelle.
Yep.
Yeah, but PayPal
so
is
Zelle
fucking
doesn't
Kenya.
work. So PayPal, they charge you horrible fees, man. And so what I'm saying is that there's this easier ways of transferring money from America to Kenya, which work. And of course, sending money from here to there is also kind of like difficult. So transferring money between America and Canada is very legally and financially complicated. And nobody has ever come up with the way of doing it. And so Stripe, the way Stripe came about, making it possible for guys to make online payments was, a form of Schlep blindness, because for years people were wondering how can we make this possible, and everybody's afraid because of privacy issues and fraud issues and stuff like that. And then I forget the name of the guy who founded Stripe, but he was the first guy to kind of sort of find a way of working through Schlep blindness. And so I'm seeing something similar in this case, setting this up. So when you think about it like right now, it sort of sounds easy. But I think once you start getting into the legal implications of it, man, it sort of becomes impossible to solve. It looks impossible to solve. But once you're able to solve it, man,
then
you make a great killing.
I'm trying to follow the money. There's a reason a lot of Kenyans are removing their money out to Dubai, right? From a legal recourse as well. You can literally take a $2-3 million and just open up stuff. No questions asked. Right? And if you're dealing at that scale, it makes sense over there.
Probably.
He seems like he has a question. There's another thing I wanted to talk about where to invest, and I want your thoughts on it. You had a question?
So I know PayPal can be very weird, but you guys also have Wise, right?
What is that?
Yeah, Wise is a...
Doesn't that just work better?
Yeah, but man, I don't know. I've always struggled with sending money to America, though. I mean, so within Canada, we have a system called Interact. So we send, it's kind of like M-Pesa, but we use emails now to send money. Or you can even use a phone number. Or it's sort of a link between all the bank accounts. So my cousin uses Wise a lot, and he has a Wise account, and he's normally able to do it, but it's still always been a hassle. It's always a hassle sending money to America. Anytime that I need to send money to America or I need to receive money from America, I gotta think about it. And so what I do is I simply go to MoneyGram, because it's sort of like the easiest way to get money fast. Anything else takes some time or is super expensive if you want to get it fast. And PayPal, I think, is...
I got to just smile. Kevin Mutiso was asking me why I'm not replying, so I'm just telling him I'm on a pod with you.
No worries. I was asking Eric if I can if you can connect me with his brother so you can hang out sometime soon.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You'll do that. You'll do that. You'll skip through his brother and be the one to do it.
You want me to connect you to Kevin?
No, Eric is gonna do it.
Let me do it so I can insult Eric as well. I haven't. You want me to connect him right now? We can call him.
Of course you can if you want. No worries. Man.
Let me just.
So I was
Eric.
asking, isn't Bitcoin trying to solve that problem as well? Like the Bitcoin exchange wallet?
Oh man, yeah. Don't get me started on Bitcoin, man.
Like the exchanges they have, like the USDT account wallet.
I don't know what your thoughts are on Bitcoin, man, but somebody recently put it very well that Bitcoin is an opportunity for criminals to share money and beat the system that already exists. I used to have. I was very skeptical about Bitcoin, but I never spoke about it. But right now I'm more skeptical about it. I mean, cryptocurrency altogether.
I will say this: before we get to, actually, let's just talk about crypto and then we can get to the investment strategies. Bitcoin was meant to be everything anti-cash, anti-government control. Okay, it was meant to stand as its own open source, fully accessible blockchain where you can't really print Bitcoin. It is there, right? And as more people got access to it, it became more valuable. I think the problem started when people started betting on the value of Bitcoin like they did in currency. So what that means is you have $1, okay? This is a physical dollar. I give it to you, it's worth $1. But someone decided to make a software version of it and bet on the outcome at the end of the day, which is exchange-traded funds, like ETFs, and leverage trading. That based on macro factors and whatever's happening in the world, the dollar will become $1.50 against the yen. And that influenced the way currencies moved. And so when that happened with Bitcoin, that affected the pricing of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And as more people got involved, that meant larger players were able to manipulate the price of Bitcoin by doing strategic moves and sell-offs. There was a company that was kicked out of China. There was a company that, because of manipulating markets in silver, gold, etc.
It was a Chinese company?
It wasn't a Chinese company. It was a European-based company. They did it in India as well. They were blocked from India. Can you just confirm what the name is? I talked about it in a podcast. They started doing the market manipulation with Bitcoin, large sell-offs and panics. And in late 2025, there was a significant dip where Bitcoin started falling because of players like this.
Yeah.
And so it becomes like everything to do with stock trading is when you're big enough, you can move the market to your will, right? Because you have insider flow, you have inside information. And so Bitcoin became everything it stood against.
Yeah.
It is still a fundamental way to deal and transact. And the guiding principle for it is there's only 21 million coins. And so as more adoption comes in, the value of it increases further and further and further. So as a long-term investment strategy, I do believe Bitcoin will go past $200,000 per coin. It's the same way with gold, right? Gold is everything anti-currency. And as the petrodollar weakens, everything on petrol is hedged to the dollar. As we're moving away from that, as different market economies become more powerful and are challenging the dollar, gold starts increasing in prices because people are hoarding gold to combat the dollar. Like China. China, I think for the past 12 months, consecutively has bought gold.
Yeah.
Has cut down on leverage trading on gold. That's telling you.
I think they have the largest gold reserves in the world right now.
So I think
in
US still has the largest.
Really? Okay.
They are going to have in terms of purchasing, they bought the largest in the last 14 months. More than any other country.
China.
But
it's just the past 14 months. I thought it was longer than that.
They've been buying. They've been buying.
Years.
They've been buying consecutively, but the last 14 months, people have not seen such transactions take place. So clearly, China knows that they can't face the dollar head on, right? Because fuel is still pegged to it, and the petrodollar deal that happens strengthened the dollar position. How do you combat the dollar? Is the other alternative rich resource. It was meant to be Bitcoin possibly, but Bitcoin has gone into a whole other tangent. So China can control its stock market and saying no one can leverage trade and artificially manipulate the price of gold, physical gold. And so they've been buying gold. India's been buying gold. all the large economies have been buying. So
And
eventually,
Kenya has been mining gold.
is that? Do you think do
don't
you think
know,
we've
man.
been mining? I've heard rumors. I've heard people having. I've
I don't know.
spoken.
I think there's guys who I don't know if there's enough gold deposits in Kenya for the government to be interested in investing in the industry.
Yeah.
But I see guys dying every day down in Migori.
So here's what I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of gold that's leaving Kenya, physical gold.
Okay, how did it get in Kenya? Into Kenya?
So it's either through.
Is it from like the Congolese gold that comes in here? You don't want to say it out loud?
I mean, we can put it. This is again hypotheticals. It's not confirmed nor deny, and it's just speculative. It's me thinking. All right. So don't crucify me. This is neither fact nor fiction. Actually, maybe let's just put it as fiction so people don't crucify us.
Okay.
Fiction states Kenya is the greatest way to exit through the continent of Africa unchecked, untethered.
Unchecked?
Untethered.
And
So that means is if I have any illegal resources that come in from Central Africa, the closest place to get out of without the airstrip through land is to go to Mombasa.
yeah.
If I go to Mombasa, I have to make sure I land at a place that is controlled by political figures that I have interests lined up with and benefit. So in this fiction world, are there political figures that have cordoned off sections in the port of Mombasa?
Well, there is one like that.
Yes, there is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So anything mined, undercover,
Yeah.
no one knows.
Hypothetically.
All right. Anything that needs to basically come out from Congo, all right, through this, let's call it like the Silk Road equivalent.
Yeah.
We'll call it the gold route, right? The resource route into Mombasa comes in via everyone aligned, unchecked, untethered to any structures. Go straight to Dubai, open bank accounts, bank over there, go to Singapore, gold banks. It's a way to funnel out money. A lot of resources in this fictional world are being pulled out from these East and Central African countries, including Kenya, and are going through that. And that also includes, in this fictional world, drugs,
Yeah.
right? Because
Have you ever flown over Congo?
I haven't, no. But
Into Congo?
no,
So you go over the Congo forest, man. It's dense.
it's dense.
You know the way you go over the sea and
Yeah.
all you see is sea around you?
Yes.
You go over the Congo forest and all you see is forest. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, there's a clearance on the ground and there's a massive compound. And you can clearly see that there's some wealth down there. I mean, you can't see because you're probably 30,000 feet up in the air. But you can tell all the stories that you hear that, you have like guys with Lamborghinis and stuff like that in the middle of the forest. Are
Well,
true.
what I'll tell you is I always, in this fictional world that doesn't exist, I've always followed where the data centers go,
Okay.
where the flow of internet goes. All right? Modular data centers have become extremely popular in Africa. In places that don't make any fucking sense. In this fictional world. Right?
I wonder where this is going, but let's go.
Those type of data centers are essentially powering up heavy investments.
Okay.
All right. And data centers to keep the lights on, to keep the data flowing, to keep control of what's being mined. In this fictional world, again, it's not real.
But why do I need a data center in order for me to mine gold?
Think about it this way. All right. You have, in this fictional world, an industry set up over there. You have people living remotely, off grid, in the middle of nowhere, maintaining communication lines. Right?
Yeah.
Communication lines outside too.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
My uncle is calling me.
Sure. Don't know, bro. Take
I
it.
just gotta pick it up.
Yeah,
man.
take it, no problem. It's a fictional world, guys. It doesn't exist. We'll clip this part out, yeah? All right, so
Let the cake bake.
where were we?
You're telling me the reason why we need data centers to mine gold.
Okay, yeah. So let's look at in this fictional world. Let's say these data centers, okay, these mining companies. When you're mining, there's a lot of telemetry data.
Okay.
There's LiDAR, there's the feeds, the UPS, the engineering machines, the heat, the pressure, the oil, ties into power distribution units, ties into electricity around the feed, the supply, ties back to a city 500 kilometers away, connectivity, feeding in, taking that information out, keeping those systems running. Most of these machines have NOCs that they're tied into, network operating centers that can check the health of the machines digging and the information found on a live basis. Right? Checks the health status of each of the staff over there, what's been mined today. And mining, by the way, up until the milligram is checked and recorded on a second to second basis.
Okay.
What's being processed. You're extracting all this stuff from the ground. You can't have traditional systems maintaining these things where there's no light. Right? This is in the middle of nowhere. There's no KPLC. There's no nothing. Again, it's a fictional world. You have a modular data center running everything on the input and output.
Yeah.
Concentrating the connectivity, using people like SpaceX to feed off that information that ties into people that are 500 kilometers away. Live feed of what's been mined, right? At 4K quality throughout that entire process. So you understand the importance of having a remote data center.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
You can't just have
all the data coming. I mean, so but I'm only wondering. I mean, for ages, people have been mining iron ore or gold ore, whatever it's called.
through a very standard process, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes you wonder, why would people ship modular data centers to Congo, again in this fictional world, to the middle of nowhere, even in Kenya? Why? Because in this fictional world, the amount of agencies that are involved, the amount of countries that are involved in what's being shipped and mined over there.
Okay.
Right?
So is it all for monitoring purposes? I mean, we talked about the health. You want to maintain the health of the equipment and all that, but is monitoring a thing here too?
Yeah.
Monitoring whatever is being mined, and we want to know because we are.
If you're mining gold, wouldn't you want to know at a gram level what's there, right?
I mean, of course, I want to know.
Right.
But I mean, it still doesn't make sense to me why you need all these big data center to do it. I mean,
sorry, we're just Kevin is.
No worries.
We're okay. You'll have to clip over this part, yeah. All right. So, and by modular data centers, I don't mean full-fledged DCs like 1-2 megawatts. You can have a 200, 300 kilowatt data center.
Okay.
All right. And
so, how big would that be physically in terms of
a container,
size?
40-foot container, 2 20-feet containers, maybe even larger than that in some instances. But the way you're doing it is, as you go deeper, there's a lot of data that's fed off, right? From the gas, from the sourcing to the personnel to the staff. You're keeping the records and the information in an IT system that's free from dust, in a temperature-controlled environment, that's constantly live, constantly accessible, and it's feeding back to potential investors and people from health and safety to operations to manuals. You see, the data center not only controls the power that comes in, but controls the data and input that comes out, and also maintains and checks the health of your systems. We all have network operating centers in data centers. They check the health of each and every single machines. And a lot of these machines have electronic inputs, from the diggers to the trucks that they're using, through LiDARs. I mentioned LiDARs become a very big thing. The CCTV feeds,
and
what's going on.
It makes sense because it is a massive operation. I'm reading this book right now called Red Rising. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Is it on Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
I think there's a movie based on it, right?
Oh, there is a movie.
Yeah,
That would be
for Arnold
interesting.
Schwarzenegger, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's interesting though. So when I think about the mining that goes on, it's sort of my mind goes to the guy. I think Darrow was his name. Mining. He was a hell driver. So hell drivers were the guys who are mining the helium that was being used to power stuff up over there. And so it must be a massive operation.
Massive operation.
In order for this to make sense.
If you look at fuel as well, okay, it's not just your traditional rig that goes down to dig fuel.
Yeah.
Data is everything. Telling you the health, how much fuel is being done, how many staff on ground, who's on rotation, which shift you have, how much are we getting, how much power reserve do we have, how much oil do we have left. There's massive amounts of data volume that influences that.
Yeah, and my MacBook can't handle that.
Yeah, you can't do it, bro. And it's data is everything. And so what you see is these modular data centers spreading their reach through DRC in this fictional world and in Kenya as well.
And so that is the indication that a lot is going out through here as well, I imagine.
There's also there's a famous tractor company called Have you guys heard of them?
I think they're the oldest tractor company in the world, man. They're American, right?
Has a lot of equipment going throughout East and Central Africa.
Okay.
All right.
But why are they using like, why not like, I don't know, the big
Caterpillar and so on and so
and
forth.
stuff like that?
I don't know, maybe it's preference. But what I can tell you is investment on the back end when it comes to infrastructure
Okay.
to monitor the health of these machines remotely.
Fun fact, and you could come back to this. So had something input into their contracts with the farmers in America that the farmers could not take their tractors to be repaired
Any other
locally.
place.
Yeah, apart from whatever. I think they had a massive
Backlash.
yeah, and even what do you call the case where there's many people?
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Class action.
Class action,
suit.
yeah.
Yeah, they had a class action suit, and I think they ended up paying like $2 billion, something like that. Massive.
But I'm not sure if we should.
Okay,
You can bleep over it, but wait, let me bring
Because- Our
our sponsor, our
no,
client. Okay.
our client.
yeah, maybe we
So just bleep the.
okay, we bleep that one. Let me actually just run around. Do you know about Monsanto, the company?
Yeah, the company that made what they're making DDT or something closer to DDT.
What's your opinion on their litigation practices?
Well, I didn't follow up with the litigation practice, but I know that whatever they were doing, I mean, the chemical was dangerous. I mean, it killed a bunch of people, and so I guess folks are gonna be paid.
But I'm also asking in the context of, you know, they have those GMO seeds. So it's actually like this one. So there's a company called Monsanto. They'll make corn that is insect repellent, basically. So you have 200 acres, you use Monsanto seeds, and then one day there's a strong gust of wind and 2 or 3 seeds land in
In your farm.
your neighbor's farm. And then they grow. This guy doesn't know.
Yeah.
Then Monsanto find out 2 of your corn cobs have our seeds. Do you know what they do? They sue you for everything you are worth. Not
Really?
just completely. Horrible company, my opinion.
Yeah. So I didn't know about that perspective, or rather, it wasn't my purview. But I think you gotta get it back wherever you're gonna get your back, man.
Do you know how much they're worth? Do you know how much money they make?
Man, it's a man-eat man society, man. And
How much are they worth?
A couple hundred, probably billions.
must be
Monsanto is
hundreds of
massive.
billions. It's a
yeah.
massive company.
They make GMO of everything.
Yeah, but you see, it's I think it's the settings what the world has become, and even talking about farming, the Canadian government is notorious for this. So their wheat, the Canadian wheat is, I guess, very reproductive. I guess because of the weather and stuff like that, and so we end up having more wheat than we can consume every year.
So it goes to waste, huh?
Yeah, so they dump it in the ocean, man. So the government buys it from the farmers and dumps it in the ocean. They don't want to go to the international market or send it away for free, like to people who are starving, because it will dilute the global price of wheat.
You see that?
Yeah,
Everything here, there's just money at the end. They would rather dump it rather than give it away because, again, you flush in and make the market cheaper, affecting.
No, so there is something that, in the same way, like if you go to a supermarket and they've had bread that's fatted the whole day, they throw it away. Yes, they could give it away, but if you give it away and someone gets sick, you open yourself up to litigation. So in the same way, if you theoretically, as a country, like we have all this wheat, we don't know how it's been stored, we don't know what it's run through. Do we want to spend the money making sure it's safe and then export it or sell it, or the cheapest thing is just dump it, move on with life? No one's going to eat it. You're not distributing it. If someone gets sick because they jumped into the ocean to eat it, that's on you, not us.
well, that would be a way of trying to get away with whatever they're doing. I mean, it's something similar. I think with what all these clothing companies do, Gucci and all these expensive clothing companies, I think they take their clothes to recycling plants because they can't. In the new clothes, they can't take them to like discount stores or anything like that. So they'd rather go to a $3,000 suit would probably be dumped instead of going to a discount store that where it would be sold for $150.
That one I can understand is a brand keeping up.
I mean,
like,
you could rebrand it, man, to something else. Just remove what is a brand, man? It's just the freaking name that is over there.
Yeah.
Just paint over it or whatever.
I feel like if you were to do that, people would be like, "Oh, this is the same thing you can buy, but just
we,
because it
don't
doesn't have
we
a tag."
all
it's
know
unfair."
though that it's the same. I mean, we all know that it's the same. Even the freaking guys who buy the stuff, they all know it's the same. But sort of somehow, I guess that's the preference.
What was we were talking about investing, right?
Mhm.
I think one thing that I think, in addition to your SpaceX portfolio,
So now I do SpaceX. So I did the SpaceX, but then now everything else. I mean, I did it was a once-off thing. Then I went back to my traditional ETFs. So I have these specific ones that I just close my eyes and it's kind of like automatic. So the money goes in there. But I'm betting big on SpaceX, man. I wish I could continue betting big on them, but I know it's lost quite a considerable amount of value. The first day though, I made a lot of money.
I think just hold it and see where it goes. I don't have, just my personal bias, I don't have faith in it. I think it will autocorrect. Same with the AI bubble. But what I'd look to invest in right now is resources that we know will go scarce. And one of the main things is fuel, right? Fuel is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter.
So what are you investing on fuel-wise?
Now, that's where the research comes in.
But you know, I think the amount of crude oil that we have underground is way more than we need. I sat through this class for a whole semester, and this guy is a renewable energy guy. And for the first time, I saw how much fuel there is. We would never run out of fossil fuel. There's enough.
That's not the reason I'm telling you to invest.
Okay.
Look what happened to the prices of fuel when a small war in the Middle East broke out a couple of months ago.
Okay. But how do you invest in fuel?
You invest in the companies.
Okay.
What's the Middle East one called? Armco and so on and so forth. You try and invest in companies that control these resources. Right?
Okay.
So fuel has always been a fighting point globally because it just makes more sense. With such wars, it just tells you, all right, resources are always going to be manipulated. And if we can localize that logic, Mumias. Do you remember Mumias sugar? Why would the prices go up? There was no fucking sugar shortage.
Yeah.
It was people hoarding it and then benefiting from that.
Even right now, I don't think they make any sugar, right?
Yeah, but now let's amplify it to a global scale. These are oil barons
Yeah.
who want to maximize the price per barrel. There's a very famous scene, and John Hamm plays it exceptionally well, where he's like, we are oil diggers, and our job is to maintain that the price of fuel stays between this and this rate. We don't care what the fuck people do with our product or whether they make a clean engine because they don't build fucking engines.
Yeah.
These guys are large conglomerates and they will always manipulate the market for price of oil. And scarcity is the thing that sells it. Scarcity through an artificial war created in the Middle East drove prices of fuel higher than ever before all across the globe. Did that not happen?
Why do you call it an official war?
It's all manipulated by
The forces
that be.
But how is it official though?
Here's the thing. You have to look at who benefits from it.
Okay. So in this case, who benefits?
Israel is at the center of it all. Okay, there's a huge conspiracy of how Israel is manipulating all these things. But there's a Jama called Professor Jiang. You've seen he's become quite popular, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the logic and reasoning as to how he explains why this war was artificially hedged, the benefactors at the end of it are all the oil barons and the people that control the resources and people that supply weapons.
Okay.
With the war in the Middle East that happened, Iran, Afghanistan, and so on and so forth, what was the reason for them penetrating, Iraq? Right? It was nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Did they find nuclear weapons?
Nope.
Right. But what happened was they got access to oil reserves.
Yeah.
Right? So destabilizing economies where central banks are not popular. Who are the most popular dictators that were taken over where central banks were not prevalent?
A guy up in Libya.
Libya? Right? Who else was there?
The other guy, Saddam.
Saddam. Iran is one of them as well. Right?
I see what you're saying, but
what I'm trying to say is, the fiction aspect of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just weird. When you look at the macroeconomic factors, that's what influences war.
Okay.
You follow the money, you understand why people do things.
But then, is it artificial if you're trying to get something? So, for instance, this hypothetical guys went into Libya, killed a guy in Libya. They went into Iraq and killed a guy in Iraq. Then it wasn't artificial because they were trying to get something from there.
But then, if to the mass public, I can't tell them I'm going to kill this guy because I want fuel.
Okay.
I have to say, Ogato punched me and my mama, so I'm going to go and beat
in
him.
this time and age, you can't say that. You can't say that, but this is what's been happening for years on end. I mean,
And that's why
these guys came down to Belgium or Congo and cut people's arms off. I mean, they were coming for stuff that was there. So I think it's the same thing. It's
the same
so
thing.
It's technically not artificial.
No, it's artificial in the sense that what you believe is that they blew up the Twin Towers and they killed Americans.
You don't think that's true?
Ah, fuck no, bro. At this point in rate, if you look at the 9/11 building collapse.
But there's an explanation.
Isn't that
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you see how
Yeah,
that looks like a typical construction.
So what you're saying is that it collapses because they rigged it with explosives?
Yes.
But that's a conspiracy, man. Steel melts at 1900 degrees Celsius. And so what happens is that once a building, any structure, this structure is not held together by bricks. It's held together by these steel columns which are have steel inside.
And I agree.
So once we get that steel at a certain temperature, it loses its structural integrity.
And that's not possible.
And if it loses its structural integrity, then we collapse.
I agree, but that's not possible from a plane crash.
No, it is possible from a plane crash in this sense. So those planes are just taken off from the 2-3 airports. And so they were laden with fuel. So the fuel went down the elevator shaft.
Ogato, so you're telling me untrained pilots who trained in caves.
Yeah. Well, they didn't train in caves. They trained in American
They were cave fighters from Afghanistan.
Yeah, they could be, but it was something, an entire orchestrated thing.
The way they knew it was these people was because in the entire rubble, entire mess that was created, they found a durable passport that belonged to this Saudi guy. How convenient. And then, okay, my argument is here.
Yeah.
If you look at the collapse of the 9/11, the Twin Towers, the buildings, and you compare it to a demolition that takes place on a building that's brought down purposely, same fall, same intent. So it doesn't affect the structures around it. It doesn't fall. Just look at that video and put up that comparison. Check it out. I don't want to put it up over here
so
because
let me ask you. So who rigged the building?
So that's what we're trying
when
to get into.
When did they rig it?
They're saying...
There's no way you could rig it without it being seen, man.
Here's another thing.
Or was it rigged during construction?
Right. Here's the thing. Maybe to add on to that, just before Fazar does an input, all right?
Okay.
The guy that owns the building took out insurance on the building against terrorism attacks the week before.
Is that wrong? I mean...
A week before.
Man, come on, man.
Ogato. If it's shit,
let me tell you guys.
Ogato,
a friend of mine bought a motorcycle.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
My friend bought a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Brand new motorcycle. It was whatever it was. Anyway, so the guy doesn't get insurance for a couple of days. And then he gets insurance on Friday, hypothetically Friday. Friday night, the bikes get stolen. So are you telling me that this guy planned for his bike to be stolen for him to get paid insurance money for the
In
bike?
this case, your guy flew the motorbike into a building.
Correlation is not causation. Now, listen here. Your passport manenos. One passport was found near the World Trade Center. It's like it was found by a passerby outside. Another one was found...
How fucking convenient.
Listen. Another one was found in checked luggage that didn't get on the plane. And a third one was found in the debris field of... one of the planes that didn't hit the building.
The plane that didn't hit the plane, that didn't hit any building. The one that.
What I'm trying to say is we can argue all day about the pros and cons. What I'm trying to say is
no
pros and cons. Pros and cons of conspiracies. If you look at all the evidence leading up to the fact, there was no. What you're trying to say traditionally, just look at all the facts that were presented, right? The way the construction happened, the way a lot of the files all of a sudden are still blacklisted and disappeared. It's not evident as to who they found in Iraq when it came to biological weapons or nuclear weapons. They were saying all of that was false. There's another conspiracy which dives deeper that says they went there to see the body of Gilgamesh, but that's further down the line.
This Jama is on his second PhD. He works in a lab.
Listen, Your PhDs don't dictate how smart you are when it comes to conspiracies.
That is
that
very true. No, I totally agree with you. But what I will go with the facts. I choose to go with the facts, and the facts tell me that the building simply collapsed under its own weight.
Buildings that collapse under their own weight don't look like that.
How do they look like?
There is
Have they done conducted?
So look at that building that collapsed under its own weight in South Sea, and look at the way this was a controlled descent in place. It did not move left or right. It fell down.
There is an explanation for that. The building in South Sea, it did not structurally fail by melting the steel columns that hold the building.
And that's
together.
what I'm saying is the
building
steel
in
columns,
South Sea
the steel
had
columns,
weak, the wrong type of steel, the wrong type of gauge of steel holding it up. Right?
A plane burning at that level and that destruction cannot cause that. That was caused by direct demolition.
The plane was the igniting, whatever ignited the fire. Man, a small matchbox,
bro.
It brings down an entire building, man.
Bro.
So you're gonna say that you can?
This is the Twin Towers.
If you kick out, man, you could bring down the Twin Towers with a matchbox. It is possible.
You can't, bro.
I mean, but you get my point.
What I'm trying to say,
hypothetical.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but it's like you trying to break a lock, a very powerful lock.
My question is this:
with like a crowbar versus a guy who puts thermite to melt it.
Okay.
Right, and that's what we're trying to say is that kind of explosion, and the way it
there
fell
was
down.
No explosion though.
The
building buckled, and so what you see is the dust as the building settles on the. The building did not explode. An explosion we would have seen an explosion.
I still can't believe in 2026 where people don't
buckling really. The
yeah,
building didn't buckle.
I still we can't.
You've seen the video, guys.
I've seen multiple videos.
That wasn't buckling
of the thing. I haven't been to the site, but I've seen multiple videos of the thing.
This is where Eric Mutiso would really come in with additional points. Huh?
The building buckled under its own weight.
You don't
How
believe
did it buckle under its own weight? You don't what?
You don't believe that there was direct manipulation to start the war.
There could have been manipulation to start the war, but the Twin Towers, the accident in the Twin Towers.
Okay, here's another thing.
Could not have.
Okay, here's another thing. The owner of the Twin Towers, had never taken work off in years.
Yes, and that day he was not there.
On that day, he decided to take work off. Come on, guys.
Today I came. You didn't have Monster in your fridge, but I had Monster in my bag.
Yeah, but a building didn't blow up, right?
So correlation is not causation.
Exactly. So every good thing. So I missed my flight. I don't know if you know that I missed my flight. I missed my flight from Toronto on.
What happened?
I was held back by the check-in guys.
TSA.
Check-in guys in Toronto. So the airline guys.
Why?
So blip this part out. Okay. So the American immigration took me in for secondary questioning.
We need to put this in.
No, man. You can't put this in.
Why the fuck? Because you believe the Twin Tower was not an inside job.
Because I asked the guy to expedite. He was taking too long asking me stupid questions. Where did you wake up this morning in my house in Toronto? When you come to Toronto? Well, I live in Toronto. You live in Toronto? Yes, I live in Toronto. And then I'm like, man, can you hurry up because I gotta catch my jet. Oh no, don't worry. We'll get you through in time. He asked me 2-3 more stupid questions. He's like, follow me, please. Takes me for a second question. It keeps me there for 1 hour, 15 minutes. I miss my flight. And then just after missing my flight, he's like, okay, now you're free to go. So he was just flexing.
This motherfucker did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
Was it a Mwindi guy, Muzungu guy?
No, he was a guy, white guy.
White guy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have his name?
No, I don't. I should have had his name from the get-go, but I was very furious initially. But by the time I hope you're going to check this out. By the time we were finishing the interaction, man, I was so deflated. I just wanted to go.
Did you have to pay for the ticket then, again?
I had to get a brand new ticket, man. I had to get a brand new ticket. The airline, this one you can leave in. The airline lied to me that they were putting me on the next flight, so the next day flight. Air Kenya was the airline. And then they told me, go home and sleep. You can go home in about 5 hours, we'll get you your flight. So I go home and sleep, man. I wake up 6 hours later, there's no email. I call them, they're like, the airline noted you as a no-show, so your ticket is cancelled. So like, I already paid them $600 to switch me to the next flight. What's going to happen to the $600? No, because we helped you, that is gone. So I had to get another flight.
Jesus Christ. And you guys don't believe 9/11 is real?
Listen.
But,
This
but,
here-
but-
here-
but
here-
this
here-
comes from
here-
a guy who believed there were no dinosaurs.
Here's
you know?
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's true. That's very
Yeah,
true.
so I mean,
Dinosaurs were
Okay,
artificial.
look. What's your problem?
bro,
man?
I have stood next to a dinosaur bone. I have a photo. I should send you this photo.
Are those dinosaur bones real? Anyway, that's
Those are dinosaur bones, man. In Alberta, you wanna say something or do I go on?
Why do you think 9/11 is fake? Because the building fell down.
There's a lot of conspiracies pointing
Why do
towards
you- why
people
do you-
con-
leave
Let
the-
me
why do you-
fucking finish, bastard guy.
Sorry. Why do you believe it?
Sorry, what was the question?
Why do you believe 9/11 was fake?
There's just a lot of facts pointing towards that it was manipulated.
Confirmation bias, man. Confirmation bias. You believe in something,
The sa-
everything.
no,
if you see
if it's confirmation bias, it's the same way you guys believed there were terrorists leading up to that.
but
I have the
we
same
have
right
fa-
to believe it was
You
artificially.
have no facts, though. You have
But
no facts.
listen-
my facts are basic physics facts. A kid in grade 4 would learn about the melting
But
temperature of.
let me explain.
Ogato,
No, no,
let me
yes.
the
explain.
plane landing on the building cannot have that temperature effect.
Listen. Wait.
But the plane ignited. Man,
What did it
There's
ignite?
things
It's-
inside the building.
I understand, but
Yes.
you see, in order to get that temperature, it has to be artificially manipulated through explosiveness.
Because the planes had fuel, brother. They had
Does,
fuel.
does fuel burn to that temperature?
Listen,
No,
jet
the
fuel. Listen.
the fuel keeps igniting
How do I run
other
this?
material.
And it melts the entire building.
It melts it. So what you gotta do is you don't melt the building. You only need to get the temperature high enough to melt the
My conspiracy theories in the comments.
steel columns.
Right now, I need you guys to comment at this point and give additional points
Wait,
to...
listen. Let me explain something. How do I draw on this thing? Fungwa. Wait.
No, I don't want to see the drawing. If you're not going to point out useless facts, don't talk.
No. We go through this step by step. Like, wait, we go through it. Wait, and I have facts. I have my facts here.
Can we cancel this guy out? Anyway, what I was talking about was we can't put the airport incident in, right? That's kind of fucked up. Does that happen often?
I guess, man, with the guy in office right now, they can literally do anything.
And so you ended up spending $1,200 additional.
Yeah, and it's well additional, yes, but plus the $600 I was gone. I actually ended up spending 13 or 6 more, plus the $600 that was gone already, and that was a one way.
So they had no. Can we put this in? They had no reason for questioning you, right?
No, they had no reason for questioning me.
It was just to flex.
Yeah, it was because I asked him. I mean, and Canadians are the friendliest guys. The Canadian immigration is very friendly. You can even shout at them, man, and they'll still be okay to look at you like. But the Americans, you can't, man.
Wait. So why was it Americans? Because you were fluent.
Yeah, so when you fly into the US from Canada, you meet the American immigration in Canada.
So you couldn't take a direct flight
To what? To Kenya?
to Kenya, yeah.
So there's no direct flight from Toronto to Kenya. There's a direct flight to Ethiopia. That's the
That's
one that comes to Africa.
that's the one I took. Yeah,
Yeah, the Ethiopian Airlines.
I took. I think it was Ethiopia and then Ethiopia Toronto, right?
Yeah. So from
KQ
here you
doesn't
go
have a
to-
direct flight.
No, from New York. So you gotta go to New York first, and then New York to.
So either way, you still have to go in through
Yeah,
America.
Yeah.
What's your advice for the first time I get to America?
In terms of
TSA, if they ask me stupid questions, I just be patient.
you just be patient, man.
They'll ask you dumb questions.
They'll ask you dumb questions. And they're very stern, man, for no reason. The guy's just stern. You can't even make him smile. You make a joke, he'll look at you like you're crazy or something. Yeah, so just be easy with them.
And which airport was this?
Pearson Airport, so the Toronto International Airport. Pearson, it's called what? Something L Pearson International.
No, but you were in Toronto then, right, bro?
Yeah, I was in Toronto.
Yeah, so there's a Toronto guy somewhere you.
So it's the Americans in Toronto. So the American immigration, you go through them in Toronto, not in America. So when you get into America, you're already done with immigration from Canada. So that's when you're flying into America. That's
So
what
it's like a
happens.
double check.
No, in America they don't check you.
You just land and you go.
You
get
just
your-
land and you go. You're like a domestic flight. Once you're in the plane from Canada, now you're like in a domestic flight.
So they have immigration officers.
The immigration officers are in Canada, and even the Americans go through the same thing. Anybody flying into the US will go through the American immigration in Canada. They have like in the airport, they have like their own country within the airport.
How was your experience then with IQ in Texas?
Oh man, that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was the awesome guy, man. I enjoyed myself from the moment I landed to the moment I took off from Toronto.
How is he like to deal with off camera? Is he the same person?
He's the same person, man. Very jovial. Took me around Texas. He lives a lifestyle, man. He took me around Austin, rather. We went to different malls. Took me out to dinner the first day I landed. Next day we went out to this tech house. We looked at how they smoke their meat for 12 hours at a time.
Oh, I actually saw that
Yeah,
live. And how was your experience doing the IRL stream?
That was beautiful, man. I mean, I've never done an IRL before, so that was my first doing IRL. So I did my first IRL in the airport in Chicago, because I landed in Chicago first and then took another flight from Chicago to Austin. And Chicago, just I put my phone up on my gimbal, and
that was easier.
And then I was working on my computer while talking to guys because I was there for like an hour or something.
And no one asked you anything?
No one asked me anything.
It was just easy, completely.
It was easy. And remember, we had a chat. Maybe a week before, and you told me about your experience in Johannesburg, was that?
Yeah, in fact, I remember we spoke about that.
And so that was my plan. I was planning to IRL in Toronto, IRL in Chicago, and then whenever we are in Texas with IQ. But I ended up only doing it in Chicago. I didn't do anything in Toronto.
Do you think it's going to be the future, IRL streams?
I think so, man. I mean, but is everybody? I think many people are going to get into it, but not everybody's going to be a successful streamer like you. You are quite a successful streamer.
Not really, bro.
You are somewhere. If they rank streamers, I'll be at number 10 million. You'll be at number 2 million. So don't worry.
But monetization of the podcast, that's the next thing I want to ask you. How do we get to a place? Do you ever feel like you're going to do the podcast
full time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But I've been on this for, let's say, a year now. Monitors for about a year now. And because most of my audience is Kenyan, I enjoy my Kenyan audience. I enjoy my Kenyan guests.
Right.
But anytime that I have an American audience, I think that is a good month for me. But the month that I only have like a massive Kenyan audience, so it's not very lucrative. So what has been sustaining me is mostly my sponsors. My sponsor is I have these two sponsors. So this
you have sponsors?
I have two sponsors, yes, since January. But the sponsorship is coming to an end this month. So I don't know what's going to happen. So the sponsorship was from February, for 6 months, of February to July. And then we got to figure it out after that.
Sorry, who's the mama?
So she sells homes in New Brunswick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've actually seen you post that stuff. The soft inserts, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's good money.
I mean, it's enough to sustain the pod and pay the stuff and stuff. But I gotta get her for my travels and stuff like that. So.
Did you end up finding her? Or did she find you?
No, I reached out to her. She's sort of a family friend, and we even did a pod with her sometime. And I think she liked the client that she got from the episode we did together. She was like, maybe I should. I asked her, so can you know what you think? You should sponsor me. It's when I was gonna do the Miguna episode. I was like, you know what? I want you to come in the Miguna episode and set up your banners over there and just sponsor that episode. He said, I'm actually gonna sponsor you for the next couple of months. We sort of went back and forth, and I came up with a proposal.
And how was Miguna to deal with?
Miguna was so surprisingly. I went in expecting him to bash me left and center, but he was so awesome, man. I mean, I had a wonderful experience with him. He gave me a job.
What do you mean?
He gave me a job. I'm gonna be a minister in his government when he becomes president.
So he's based in Canada full time.
Yeah, he's based in Canada full. Well,
can he access Kenya? Can he come back?
Yeah, he got his. He got reinstated. His passport got reinstated. His red notice was lifted in the airlines, and now he can come back anytime and reclaim the throne or claim the throne.
And you called the guy.
Yeah, I did.
Bro, that's mad game. That's I actually respect that. That's not easy.
Was it the same thing with you?
With who?
No. Actually,
I didn't do Miguna.
No. When I called you, but I remember Eric connected us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for political figures, Boniface Monge, I called messaged him.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to,
I'm gonna have Bonnie on mine. I'm gonna figure out how to get him.
I'll send you. I'll connect you. I'll just send his number to you. He's a good guy to have.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thing? So there was also another podcast I wanted to talk about. I know Fazaz, he wanted to talk about something, but before that, you had a Freemason on.
Yeah.
Was that guy legitimately part of the Freemasons?
He is a Freemason, man. There's a photo of him on the internet doing these horrible things, man. I don't know if they're horrible, but he's seated on this seat, and behind him there's like the goat with whatever. And then he's slaughtering a goat underneath him, and I think he's drinking blood. and is dressed in like, I don't know, weird clothes and stuff like that. I wanted my editor to put that photo in the video. I think he was too scared to put it on.
It's a bit graphic, right?
Yeah, it's very graphic, man. I was later on, I was like, man, why didn't you put this? It was like, man, nearly go up. By that time, the episode was already.
Do you think there's something magical they do? Spiritual, there's Freemasons.
I don't think so, man. I think it's a long story. So I'm religious, very religious. So Seventh-day Adventist. So some people are spiritual, but for me, I'm religious. So Seventh-day Adventist. Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist Nigani.
So they are Catholics on steroids. We go to church on Saturday.
Okay, who are the guys that can't eat potatoes with salt?
I don't know those ones, but we don't do pork. We don't do a bunch of stuff. So tea leaves, coffee.
You can't have tea?
Well, technically we shouldn't, but I see people doing it nowadays.
You're the guys with potato without salt. Kulikwana Jama used to
That's possible. I mean, sometimes you can have a guy practicing their faith to the extreme.
There was a Jama who used to work at the company I work for very early on. And he was part of the knock. So the knock is 24/7. This guy on Saturdays, he'd turn his phone off. And he wouldn't eat meat.
Yeah. So
is that 7 days
advice? The advice is avoid meat, but it's only health advice. So it's for your own health, and it's healthy, to do meat and all this kind of stuff. So I actually grew up vegetarian.
So Ogato is not a good 7-day Adventist because when he invited me, we went to Fogo Gaucho.
Yeah, man. That's why I broke my meat eating virginity. The Forgotten Westland stuff. I was vegetarian for my entire life until this friend of mine was going to school in Malaysia or something.
Yeah.
And she invited us to Fogo Gaucho. So I got there. I don't know that it's a steakhouse. And so the only thing to eat there is meat. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try today. I had so much. I only ate meat, actually. I didn't do any of the, anything else they have. Do they have a salad or anything like that? Or carbs?
I think they have a portion at the back with salad.
So I didn't do any of that. I only did meat, man. Crocodile meat. I don't even. They had snake meat that day, ostrich meat, chicken, beef, everything.
How do you find it?
Since that day, I never looked back, man.
It's amazing, huh?
I don't know if it's amazing. Now I think I don't like meat that much. I think I had too much of it.
So what's your diet look like? What does it? Was it?
My diet right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so breakfast, I do a glass of milk. I do a handful of blueberries. I have 4 tablespoons of oatmeal, and 1 spoon of peanut butter, and a spoonful of almond butter.
Peanut butter on Tumagani, Skippies.
Whatever we have in Toronto, I think it's the Walmart brand. I buy yeah, Walmart brand, but it's the blue label, so it's somebody else manufactured. And then now I do Kaklan from Costco. Okay. So that's my breakfast, and that's able to hold me through the day. And then for dinner, I'll have a bunch of I'll have chicken.
And like, how do you grill chicken? Do you do curries? Do you do?
No, I grill it in the oven or what is that? The other air fryer. I air fry.
Yeah, the one Bashir was very proud of from Ikunini. It's his wealth symbol.
Yeah.
As we start winding down, maybe advice. You've been married. You have a kid coming on the way.
I have a kid. The kid came.
Sorry, the kid came. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Congratulations on that, by the way. Can we do Pararira?
Yeah, man.
Daughter, yeah?
Yes, I have an older daughter who's 3 years old now, and a son was just born 30 days ago.
I met the daughter when I came.
Yeah, to the pod. Yeah, we were here. I love traveling with her. This time around, I didn't come with her though. Yeah.
So what's your advice, bro? Marriage, kids.
Take it a day at a time, man. Love your wife. Travel with her. Go everywhere with her if you can afford it. And when the kids come, at least in my experience, they sort of tend to hold you down. You can't do so much anymore. So I think the first 5 years you're not gonna be able to enjoy each other as you did when you were by yourself. At least that's my experience.
So no kids, eh?
No, the kids should come, but not the first 2, 3, 4 years maybe.
Yeah.
Right? That's just me.
How old were you when you got married?
I was married when I was 29, man. I didn't know what I was doing. But let me tell you, the funniest thing about parenting, man, is I don't know what I'm doing about parenting, man. I know I'm doing the best thing, but I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just going as it comes. I know that my daughter is gonna have a blast. She's gonna have the best dad ever. My son is gonna have the best dad ever too. But
You're just figuring it out.
I'm just figuring it out. I used to think that my parents, man, were super cool. They knew everything to do. Well, I was with my grandparents, but maybe my grandparents, since they had already had like 7 kids, they know what to do. But I don't know, man.
You just figure it out, right?
Everybody else is figuring it out. When my daughter came, man, I was so green. And I decided to try, they have like parenting classes there. You got to go to parenting classes, you got to know how to do a diaper and stuff like that. So I don't need to figure that out, man. I'll figure it out as they come. Diaper is pretty simple. Put the kid down and put the diaper on, strap it on, and leave.
And I heard kids shit like a lot, eh?
The first shit that comes up, man, is black.
You game.
They call it meconium.
Meconium.
Yes,
That's a scientific name.
that's the name they call it. It's an English name for it, I guess. It's
Meconium.
Yes,
It's what they used to bring down the Twin Towers, yeah.
it's black and ugly. So if you haven't had it before, you will like, what the heck is going on? So you probably call the nurse or the doctor, man, something is wrong.
Yeah, what the hell is
Yeah,
blood?
and
Okay,
it comes
it's normal. It's normal.
and it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So it's gonna go on for like 2 days, just black for 2 days, and then it turns to some other color,
Green.
green, yellowish sort of thing.
I remember seeing that from babies. I'm like, this baby's it's been triggering me that.
And then I remember so after we went home and we were like with the kid for like a week, the kid gave this shit that was yellow with white things, like curdled milk. Like something is wrong, man. We carried the shit to the doctor. We carried the diaper to the doctor. We're like, man, something is wrong here. This is what the shit looks like. And the doctor was like, no, that's normal.
Here's $100 for the bill.
Yeah. So good thing about you see this universal health thing that's trying to work, that's trying to be deployed here in Kenya.
Yeah.
So in Canada it works, man.
Yeah, but the health system is quite great, right?
Yeah. Well, great is probably an overstatement because since it's sort of free, then you get long queues. Emergency room, you can wait for hours on end to get treated.
Private medical is super expensive.
There's no private medical care in Canada.
Kabisa.
Nope. Everything is public. The same hospital that I go to, the same hospital the Prime Minister would go to.
So you can't pay
You might get some preferential treatment because it's Prime Minister, but sort of like because they know the doctor personally, but not because they are Prime Minister.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In the States, there is private medical facilities.
In the States, yes. In the States, it's private and you also got to pay for it. I'm on the leg, man. I think that's one of the things that makes America very expensive to live in because medical care is one of the worst things that would... If you have a medical problem in the US, I think it's one of the worst experiences.
But Kenya as well is getting up there, bro, with private medical. It's also unsustainable. And then also in the government facilities, comparatively.
I think this is what we were talking about initially. The guys who... There's no motivation to maintain the public hospitals. I remember I never brushed my teeth when I was in high school. And so toward the tail end of my uni...
You never brush your teeth?
When I was in high school, no, man.
So mouthwash, huh?
You
Nothing. True.
must have been very single, huh?
Yeah, through high school, I was actually single. I remember reading this. I don't know what. The teacher told me, this weird teacher, Miss Salash, man. Shout out Miss Salash. She eventually became principal in Never Girls. But when she was in my high school, she brought on this motivational speaker who told us, you guys should work hard and you should pass your grades and become successful. When you have an A, the guys will follow you on the street. And so I remember that day I went and burned all the letters that I had received and all the letters I was potentially sending that weekend. And I stayed single throughout high school. I remember when we would go to funkies and stuff, I never talked to a single girl, like to one girl. I talked to like a group of girls because I never wanted to be interested in one, man. Horrible, man. Horrible. Looking back, man, that was horrible.
Did someone ever tell you, bro, your breath?
I think because I wasn't kissing anyone, man. My breath was...
So 1 year you didn't, this is a few years you didn't brush, kabisa?
Not 1 year, man. Like the entire 4 years I was in high school. And so what ended up happening is that my teeth were ruined. I had wisdom teeth pretty early on. And so my wisdom teeth, all the teeth, like my molars and premolars were ruined early on. And so never been to a dentist. I never brushed my teeth and stuff. I think I only went to a dentist to have my milk teeth removed. And so...
Ogato.
And so I ended up going to... So my cousin was...
No wonder you believe in 11. because all that rot went here.
You know how that happened? I read Mao Zedong's book. Mao Zedong,
The Chinese guy.
Chairman Mao, yeah.
Chairman Mao, yeah.
So Chairman Mao never used to brush his teeth, man.
Jesus
because he
Christ.
said that goats never brush their teeth. I was stupid, man. Goats live for only like 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. So they never need to brush their teeth. They will have healthy teeth their entire life. And so I read that and I was like, man. Yeah, so I never brush my teeth. So when I was going to the dentist for the first time, because I had ruined teeth, I went to Kenyatta Hospital because my cousin was working there as a dentist. And I had a superb treatment. But he told me that only one seat was working. There's like 9 seats in the hospital, but only one was working. He got me in because I was his cousin. There was many other patients that day who were waiting to access him or maybe other dentists, but on that one seat. Jesus. And that was horrible. That was my first interface with proper public medical care and how horrible it can, it can be for people who depend on it. And so when you look at that and you look at how private hospitals in Kenya would treat you well, so long as you pay them or your insurance pays for them and stuff like that, it is horrible. You have SHA and they say that SHA is working. I don't know if it's working, but I mean, there've
been good cases and bad cases, but I think what you can just say is you just pray that you have good health for you and your family, so they don't have to go through anything. Whether it's
man. I mean, even with the free or whatever healthcare, you pray for health, man, because.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay for medication though, so it pays for the treatment, the doctor's fees, and all that. If surgery, if you're going through chemo, anything like that, it will pay for it. But if it were to come to medication that you gotta buy from the pharmacy, that one you gotta pay for yourself. And so sometimes you gotta have good insurance. So the case of this lady who I think is suffering from this weird disease, and she needs I think $33,000 every month, or is it $30,000 every month for her to survive? And the insurance just recently pulled the plug, and they won't pay for it anymore. So she needs the drug to be alive because she has breast cancer. And so it's a weird space to be in, that this insurance company can actually pay for it, but they don't, because the committee that is supposed to approve it says that this drug is no longer approved for insurance coverage. Weird.
Anyway, Fazar, remember a long time ago when I told you to shut the fuck up because it's not your podcast and stop talking about 9/11? Now you can shut the fuck up.
Hi.
As we wind things down, tell me, bro.
So okay, we talk to
By the
this.
way, what we'll do is there's a certain video, and I seem like a nutcase, but for Joe Rogan, we'll link it in the description. But I want to hear beyond because the room seems pretty evenly split. All right, there's people who believe it was a conspiracy. There are people who believe it wasn't a conspiracy.
Middle, okay.
And T's in the middle. So in the comments, what do you guys think? Give points, pros and cons, and then whoever wins the argument can have Fazar's job.
Please, anyone win it. You will be running back to me. I will talk to this. Okay, so you have World Trade Center, right? How good as how many stories?
How many stories was it?
Who the fuck knows? I will Google it. But anyways,
it was damn.
Okay.
I just remember they were 105, I think.
okay, how many planes hit the first building? One plane. Hi.
One
so you
plane
got
in the first
so you got one plane hit a building pretty high up. Now, buildings are made to like stay
Was it 200
upright.
floors?
Okay, so you've got rebar, you've got metal, you've got all this, right?
Correct.
Plane hits, goes through say three floors, roughly. Let's say 3, 4. Planes are pretty whatever. These things have just taken off. They're full of fuel. Hits the building, boom. Jet fuel everywhere. Jet fuel burns at like roughly 1,000-ish, 1,100 C. To melt steel, you're roughly at 1,900. So you're not melting steel, but it's hot enough to soften the steel. When anyone brings you like a can of like something, and you're like, I can't open it. You go put it on the fire kidogo, and then it turns open, right? So you're at about 1,000 degrees. You have metal kind of getting soft. Now you've gone through 3 floors. All that rubble has gone down onto the floor below. The metal is softening. Now you have all this weight on a floor, and the metal is buckling. Where is it going? Where is it going to bend towards? Towards where the weight is. Now that floor goes down. And then now the next floor below it has to fight the same weight.
Correct.
It's going to go down. So now when all this happens, where is the building going to go? No building is going to fall this way. This is not the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
And I completely agree with you. The thing is, if you look at the way it fell down and videos of it, the way it structurally came down perfectly, in the sense that it didn't stretch 50 meters that way, 50 meters this way, 50
But
meters
see, that's
that
what
way.
happened. Each floor went down on itself.
Yeah,
when
but-
you have all that
but the
metal holding
yeah.
it in a place.
I know, but Fazza, that means the way it came down in that perfect format, if a building just crumbles this way and that way, right? There's different loads, there's different structures in different offices and different buildings that will influence the way it moves. Not
Yeah,
all
and-
floors are the same,
And
right?
that is why we are saying, or rather, Fazai is saying that it'll only come down to it because you have everything melting uniformly. You don't. It's not like one side here was
but
melting.
how is it melting uniformly when the plane only struck one side of the building?
So there was.
So in that case, when the plane
was
struck
two
one
towers,
side of the
right?
building,
but here's the-
no. But if the plane
It
struck one side of the building,
it went into the building, right?
so it spread evenly.
No,
so
yes,
everything
but
came
the
down.
fuel
Okay,
went
but
down.
okay.
So the fire spread down the elevator
their
shaft.
logic has collapsed on
No, no,
itself
no,
because
no,
look,
no,
okay,
no, look here.
okay,
No,
look.
So the fuel went down the elevator
Aikido.
shaft.
When we do Aikido over here, we just count. So here's the thing: the plane struck on one side. So
Yes, went
so-
into the building.
So what they're trying to say
the
is
fuel goes down the elevator shaft. and all the other shafts in the building. But the fuel went down, and so the fire went down.
Okay, Ogato, what you're trying to say, it conveniently went down a certain location.
It did conveniently go down, man.
All right, guys, look. So
okay.
let's say a plane hits the side of a building, all right? One side of the building has received all that fuel,
Yeah.
but the building still went uniformly down. What Ogato and Fazza are saying, the fuel spread all across, so then it went equally on each side.
So stop putting words in our mouth.
Yeah. This has been Coffee One Podcast. The argument is once. You see, that's the benefit of owning the podcast is you get to end it.
I'm the one editing it, motherfucker.
By the way, you can't edit. You've been trying for the past 3 months. Bichari, Tamara just did 24 hours. She's done a better job than you on editing.
I want to
Can
show
we do
you a
parallel for
photo.
Tamara?
I want to show you a photo of.
You can't.
Not you, him.
Okay, Kolo. See, the argument collapsed in itself. Alright,
We don't want your question. Go away.
No argument has collapsed anywhere.
No argument. You were putting words in our mouth. Look,
Ogato.
Stop putting words in our mouth.
Ogato's growing
You see,
teeth. Give him the mic.
I'm not giving. I will. What's your question? Let me vet it first. What is the question? Let me vet it.
Give him the mic. Fazza, give him the
Here's
mic.
the mic. Take it.
He's muted it.
Go away.
Ogato's looking for pictures.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
no wonder
so
they
you
stopped
see-
you at
you see-
TSA.
No. I want to show you some photo here.
so I want to ask
because I
you
want
another
to finish on this
question,
point. Yeah.
So why are we disregarding the fact that Sajid said, let us try and follow the money? Why are we giving these guys so much credit that all these things they were doing before that, the contracts that went to the Bush government and all these things that happened, why are we discrediting all that facts and that information and just saying that we're going to depend on fuel going down like the elevator shafts and melting at uniformly, bro? Come on.
We follow the money. Who benefited?
Follow
Who,
the money.
Whose net worth quadrupled?
let me ask you.
You're showing me something?
I'm going to show you something. An American
Yeah.
is going to murder thousands of Americans because he wants fuel in Iraq
Yes.
Yes.
or Afghanistan.
That's
Yes.
And
do you
but there's an easier logic to that.
What's the easier?
okay. So do you believe
The easiest logic
that
is
drugs
this.
were introduced by CIA and American-based agencies in areas where the predominant population was black people to control?
Yes, I do believe that.
So
No, I do believe that. but you see over here. Okay.
On the screen,
Who
can we
is
put
working?
up Andrew
who
Tate
is
doing
wo-
Aikido?
It's the year 2001. Who is working in the CN Tower? No, in the Twin Towers.
A bunch of companies, right?
A bunch of companies. All these bunch of companies, they have if you're gonna kill people, you're gonna kill black people. If the American government is gonna kill people, it's probably gonna kill black people. They're not gonna kill the Jewish, white.
Okay. I
whatever
no, I
alien
understand.
race or
And on
whatever.
the last thing, you know, the Oval Office, not the Oval Office, the
Pentagon.
Pentagon. The
A
day,
plane went down in the Pentagon.
yes,
too.
correct.
It killed.
But here's
200
the
people.
thing, and we can post this article up. There was an investigation.
Conspiracy theory. That's
No. There was an investigation being held.
The investigation can happen. But
No,
so you want to tell me you're going to take down the CN the Twin
Ogato,
Towers?
so let me finish.
Go on.
Alright, so here's another Aikido karate chop. The day off or the day before the explosion, we'll put that article up over here. There was an investigation, just say the investigation by a certain individual into 9/11 about missing funds. there was an open investigation and this is documented. This is on TV. This is on CNN, NTV, Citizen.
Two things can be true at the same time. An investigation could go on, and a building could get knocked by.
If it shits like a bear, if it sounds like a bear, if it has fur like a bear.
All these three things happen on 3 different countries. Okay.
So what was the investigation called? Kolo? Has your phone died?
You know the thing in Meru where someone saw a Carrefour bag in a bush and they thought it was an actual lion until cops were
guys,
called.
let me ask Claude.
The Carrefour bag had a lion, right?
So you know that?
Yeah.
But people thought it was an actual lion. Like,
And so I'm asking Claude, what was the investigation and by who the day before the Pentagon was hit by a plane?
listen, Ogato, here's what we do.
Missing
You come
money.
on again, you and me. I get
Yeah.
the third mic. We fight this Jama on these conspiracy theories.
Listen, guys, you've just witnessed.
Jama is telling me moon landings are fake also.
karate
Moon
chopping.
landings cannot be fake, man. How can moon landings be fake?
So you're the guy who believed.
Man, there was 4,
Okay,
5 between the year 1969
no,
and the
wait.
year 1972.
Okay, so wait. Here's what we need to do.
Yes.
Eric and I versus Ogato and Farid in a podcast. And
Who is Farid?
Sorry, not Farid. What's your name? We give it. So on 10 September 2001, Rumsfeld gave a speech at the Pentagon about bureaucratic waste, and the line people quote is that the department's financial system was decades old and by some estimates couldn't track 2.3 trillion in transactions. The number came from the Department of Defense. Their report flagged 2.3 trillion in accounting. The source was the DoD. So the popular version of the plane hit the exact office doing the accounting and destroyed the evidence. The impact zone in Wedge, Army Budget and Resource Management, and some of which of them were killed, which is where the detail comes from. But financial records for a department that size weren't sitting in one hallway, so there's some conspiracy around.
There's an easier way to take this thing out, man. Get a gun and do the thing to the people. Why bring a whole plane with passengers inside and crash into the building? It doesn't make sense.
No, but you see, the thing
If
is,
you wanted to kill it by-
but in order to approve the funding and the budget and the army spent for war, you cannot go and say we want to go and invade for oil. That will be turned down by vast majority of people.
Did the
here's-
guy go to Venezuela and arrest some guy and come and say we went there for the oil?
Okay, no. So here's the thing, and our reference is World War II.
Yeah.
When did America get involved? You guys know that?
After the Pearl Harbor thing.
Perfect.
Yes.
Do you guys know that the Americans had actually spotted the Japanese fleet? And this is not fiction.
It is true.
Okay, but let me finish my train of thought. They had spotted the Japanese fleet coming in to attack Pearl Harbor. Okay? So they let it happen.
They did not let it happen. Come on.
They let it happen. They let it happen because they knew their response would mean the American people now invested in the war and would agree for them to come in. Because before that, America was an economic boom. They did not want to get involved in the war. But that brought in emotional attachment. And you know what Japan said, the general? He's like, I'm afraid we've woken up a sleeping giant. So if at that level at World War II, they're manipulating in order to get results.
How did they manipulate? They called the Japanese to come?
No, the Japanese attacked. The Japanese were always planning on attack. What they decided to do was hold off on the response.
No, they didn't
because
they did not hold off on the response. So I think what I understand is that
why would Japan attack? I mean, and expect to get away with it. You know what I mean? They were obviously trying to weaken America and get them involved in the war.
Because they thought that they had it under control. They thought they were probably the superpower of the war. They had the support of whatever Axis or Allied forces or whatever.
Ogato, you believe in the moon landing?
I believe the moon landing, man. 24 guys walk on the moon.
Ogato.
24 guys walk on the moon.
I have a question for you.
Ask me.
Is war lucrative or not?
War is lucrative.
Exactly.
Yes, for some people.
Let's end it. Guys, put up another Aikido clip of Andrew Tate.
No, I'm going to show you this as we're learning this. This is a dinosaur bone in Dinosaur Valley in Drumheller Park. in Alberta. I'm standing next to the dinosaur bone, and you can see how tall it is. So dinosaurs did exist.
Are you sure that's real?
It is real. And why I will tell you it's real, you go to this entire valley, man, you just walk around, you find a dinosaur bone. You own a farm, you're digging in your backyard, you are trying to mine something like those guys mining gold or whatever, you end up finding dinosaur bones.
No, so on dinosaurs, I think they did exist. I personally,
you agree now?
No, I believe they exist. At one point in time, there were some investigations done into the fossils and saying that they weren't actually fossilized. They were replicas, and
most of what so you never find a 100% fossil skeleton, whatever, of a dinosaur.
Can you put this picture up?
Of course, you can put it up.
Just send it to me, bro. I'll send it to the editor.
Yeah, so you don't get a full one. So you get maybe 80%, and then you get the other stuff.
But I love the way we just went off on a random tangent throughout this podcast. It's the best.
But let me ask
But guys, if you want to witness more of this kind of butchering,
Who was butchered here?
Collins, thanks for having my back, bro. I know you don't believe in any of it.
1 second. I will ask one more thing here on the moon landing thing. Mr. Ogato. So here's
Do you believe in the moon landing?
of course. Dude, like, one second. If Elon says he's going to put databases on the moon, yeah, moon landing is real. Fuck you.
How is moon? Okay, explain to me who was recording
Wait.
as the thing took off.
Wait.
Who was recording that?
Listen.
I think
And then,
took off from where?
and then,
Which took off?
last question.
The thing took off from where?
Took off from where?
See, from the moon.
Come on!
They left the rover
You
there.
leave the rovers there.
So there's a camera.
There's a camera that was going and following them up
Yeah,
like
there's a
this.
rover. Have you not watched Wall-E?
A rover that was remotely controlled in 1960s.
Yes.
Bro.
Here's another thing.
So
By the way, here's another thing.
you believe there was
The
no...
president on an analog phone was live talking to them in the moon. No lag, no latency. In today's day and age, I'm struggling to call Ogato on WhatsApp. There's break because I'm in an elevator.
Wait, okay.
They were live streaming analog, calling the moon in 1960s.
So first of all, it was not live stream. There was a lag. There has to be a lag.
Of like 1 2 seconds.
1 2 seconds. Whatever it is, there was a lag.
Why haven't we been back on the moon?
Oh, no, we are back on the moon, man. The reason why... So
Why haven't there been people
it's
back
very
on the
simple,
moon?
man. The reason why guys went to the moon in the first place is...
Why?
I'm telling you why. Listen.
I'm
hold
muting
up.
his mic. Wait, I'm muting his mic.
The reason why the Americans, I say we as if I'm American, the reason why Americans went to the moon in the first place is because the Russians had a massive successful space program.
Yes.
So the Americans were like, hey, what's happening, man? We can't be left behind. So they went because they wanted to show their might in space. And the reason why we're going back to the moon now, the reason why the Americans are going back to the moon now, and I can say we because Canadian was there recently, went around the moon, is because the taikonauts in China are in their own space race too. Now America has a reason to go back to the moon. There's no economic advantage of going to the moon whatsoever.
Here's another thing. Okay, just a couple of
Yes.
points, and I aikido chop these points, right? Here's a conspiracy, and well, the moon landing. All the documentation about landing on the moon and the technology of landing on the moon conveniently burnt down in a fire, so they couldn't replicate that technology. Okay, that's why they're saying we haven't been to the moon, and this is documented. This is documented. Secondly,
Hold up.
Secondly,
But I told you the reason why we haven't been to the moon. There's no motivation.
Secondly,
Man, we have...
there was a gift that the Americans gave. I believe it was the Dutch. It was a piece of the moon, and years later, upon further investigation, turned out it was a resource from Earth. Maybe it was charred wood or something.
Well, listen, that one, yes, they did it to fuck with them. No. It wasn't Norway, it was Russia.
Willie, where can Andrew Tate doing Aikido?
1 second, wait.
Oh, Tamara.
Wait, wait, both of you. Ebu, show me that thing where they said things burn down, that's why we can go. Ebu, show me. We have time.
Wait, what was the charred wood thing?
No.
Chadwood, guys. Chadwood. Chadwood. Hello? I'm sorry.
Sorry, what are you saying?
What in Boga?
Find the thing.
No,
we haven't gone because of the fire.
Okay, what was the charred wood thing? Can we do investigation over that?
Oh, now you want Wi-Fi, yeah?
Netherlands.
It wasn't Netherlands, it was the Russians. It wasn't fossil, it wasn't...
Chill. Let me ask. Was there a piece of the moon given to the Dutch that turned out to be fake by the Americans?
Yeah, this one's real, and it's a bit of an embarrassing story. The Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam had a piece in its collection that was believed...
Sorry, I was interrupted. Ebu, continue, please.
No worries. So the story goes like this. When former US President Richard Nixon's people toured the world after the Apollo missions, they handed out goodwill moon rock gifts to various countries. The Netherlands received one, and it eventually ended up with the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam after the death of a former Dutch Prime Minister, Willem Drees, who had been given it during a visit by US astronauts in 1969. The museum valued it at something like $500,000 and displayed it for years. Then around 2009, experts took a proper look and worked out it wasn't a moon rock at all. It was petrified wood, just an ordinary lump of fossilized tree, essentially worthless.
Okay.
Now here's the new
No, shut the fuck up. Another question I have is there something that says that NASA lost a lot of documentation and technology regarding the moon landing and documents that were burnt down in a fire, so they couldn't replicate a lot of the moon landing technology? Is there something of that sort?
Right. There are a few real things tangled up in that claim, so let me separate them. The most quoted one is the Apollo 11 original telemetry tapes. NASA recorded the raw slow scan video and data on magnetic tapes, and years later they couldn't find the originals. In 2009, NASA admitted the tapes had almost certainly been erased and reused during the 1970s and 80s, when the agency was short on tape stock. So that wasn't a fire, it was routine reuse of expensive magnetic tape. What was lost was the best quality original footage, not the technology. Then there's the line that NASA can't go back because they lost the technology or the blueprints. That's mostly a misunderstanding. The Saturn V blueprints do still exist on microfilm. The real problem is different. The whole supply chain, the contractors, the tooling, the thousands of specialist parts and the people who knew how to build them are gone. Rebuilding a 1960s rocket today would be harder and more expensive than just designing a new one, which is basically what Artemis is.
So what do the
I'm not
conspiracy theorists say about lost footage and us not being able to go to the moon and replicate it? What's the reasoning behind their thought?
Sure. So the conspiracy logic basically runs backwards from a conclusion. They start from the landings were faked and then treat the lost tapes and the fading technology as evidence for that. On the erased footage, the argument goes something like this. If you really did the greatest achievement in human history, how do you possibly record over the original tapes? To them, that looks like convenient destruction of evidence. The suspicion is that the originals were got rid of because a close analysis would reveal studio lighting, wires, or other signs of a set. The innocent explanation that NASA was just cheap with tape stock and nobody thought the raw telemetry mattered once it had been broadcast feels too casual to them for something that momentous. On the we can't go back point, their reasoning is that if we genuinely went in 1969 with slide rules and 60s computing, then going back now with modern tech should be trivial. So when NASA says it's hard and takes years and billions, they read that as proof we never had the capability in the first place. The idea that manufacturing knowledge and supply chains genuinely evaporate over 50 years doesn't satisfy them, because it sounds like an excuse. The deeper thread tying it together is motive. The Cold War, the race to beat the Soviets, the pressure to deliver on Kennedy's promise. They argue there was overwhelming incentive to fake it, and that the losses since then are all part of covering the tracks. Where the logic falls down is that it ignores the mountain of independent evidence. The Soviets were watching closely and had every reason to expose a hoax, and never did. Retroreflectors left on the surface are still bounced with lasers today. Independent countries have photographed the landing sites from lunar orbit, and hundreds of thousands of people would have had to keep a perfect secret for over 50 years. The lost tapes and the faded know-how are real, but they're mundane bureaucratic facts, not smoking guns.
It's interesting how
You can't.
No, so
You bastard guys.
so what it's
it's interesting how hold
yeah.
up. It's interesting how you can't believe us here, human, but you can believe this guy who's probably reading from fabricated data.
And you believe it's fabricated AI
no,
because there's a possibility that it was lied upon.
And you see what I'm you see what I'm saying?
Aikido.
So
Such
it-
Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is almost always the correct one. Leave this whole conspiracy theory nonsense.
Tamara, are you
Like-
siding with us or where
So no.
are you leaning? Because you're the deciding factor here.
Wait,
Guys, in the comments.
you are just kissing his ass. Go away.
It's genuine. Like,
Yeah.
What is it? Okay.
See, like Ogato, just explain to me how in the year 1960 they sent a
69.
69. They sent a rover that had a camera that recorded these guys landing and then that recorded these guys leaving. How the fuck?
How are they transporting that footage?
Exactly.
What do you mean? How are they transporting?
So how are they
radio waves.
transmitting this?
Radio
this-
waves.
Radio waves transfer
Yes.
that quality.
I mean, it could be radio waves that are of a higher frequency.
1 second, wait.
They can penetrate.
I answered this with another question. 1969 was how many years ago? 50 years.
They're about
50, say 55.
66 years.
60 years. 60, let's say 60 years.
66.
So if 60 years ago, we could not get a camera on the moon, what are you holding in your hand, Saj? And how long did it take for that to be made? What can that phone do? It took what,
but
10
if I
years?
had this in 1969,
No. Let's work backwards. If you have that in your hand right now, if we have these cameras right now, how far back do we go for technology to be, yes, that's possible?
yeah, I can reverse engineer and say the fact that even with today's technology, there's limitations on how connectivity and radio and whatever is transmitted. In today's after all 60 years of development,
Yes.
so you're telling me they live stream that fucking thing when we can't live stream from the Masai Mara today, with all this shit that we're having, when we can't live stream from the national park. They were live streaming,
motivation,
calling
man.
in via
1 second.
kring. Ebo Aikido.
Listen.
Weka Aikido.
Listen.
Weka
Air Force
Aikido.
One.
Weka
Very
Aikido.
strong.
Listen, Air Force One, the president
Okay,
can watch
Sidu
4K.
Aikido with me.
Listen. Air Force One, the president can watch
4 against 1.
Listen, Air Force One, the president can watch 4K porn. You, on the flight you're going to take next week, are you even going to have signal? Me went to coast. I lost signal on the Nini. Just because,
So how do you land on the moon?
listen, just because one case.
Your
cannot be- listen.
logic falls on itself.
No. They had technology that was made. Hey, this is going to the moon. We need a way to get video here. That does not exist for you. You cannot go and be like, hey, I want to record the moon. That was built for that. It was built only for that one thing.
Buana. Wait,
Dude, you guys.
Jaguero.
No, but
Guys, in the comments now, it's
wait, Ebu, ask it. How they live streamed it? Ebu, ask it.
we'll go on Couch Connect
Ebu,
next
ask
and
it.
talk about this.
Ask it how we live streamed the moon footage. Wait, we're asking it. Shh. It's speaking. The third eye is speaking. Ebu, ask it.
What technology was used to record the Katingi taking off in the moon and live stream the whole event? And how did Nixon, whoever the president was, call to the astronauts from the moon? What was the technology used? And does it make sense?
You mean the lunar module lifting off? So that famous footage of the ascent stage blasting off was captured by a camera mounted on the lunar rover, and it was actually controlled remotely from Houston. A guy named Ed Fendel operated the pan and tilt from Earth, timing it to account for the radio delay. And Nixon's call to Armstrong and Aldrin went over the same radio link, patched through mission control using the S-band communication system. Want me to go deeper on either one?
Why is it the fact that in today's day and age, using that same technology, we are having struggle just communicating from one country like in Kenya to America, and they were able to live stream it from the fucking moon? Why is it like that?
It does feel absurd when you put it like that. But here's the thing. That moon broadcast worked because NASA threw almost unlimited money and enormous infrastructure at a single dedicated link. They had giant dish antennas, 70 meters wide, in places like Australia and California.
But we
all
still have
pointed
those
up-
today. And we're still experiencing delays. We have those kind of
But are
technology
you gonna
which are
dedicate
much more mature. So how does it make sense?
Right, fair point. So the difference isn't the hardware, it's how we use it. Apollo had one signal, one destination, total priority on a dedicated link. Nothing competing. When you're on a video call from Nairobi to America today, your data is fighting for space with millions of other people's Netflix, emails, and calls, hopping across dozens of routers, undersea cables, and networks that all have to hand off to each other. Every hop adds a little delay and a chance for congestion. So it's not that we're worse than 1969. It's that we're doing something way messier, shared, cheap, global, and for everyone at once. instead of one golden pipe for one mission. Does that land?
Not really, because the technology that's been developed with the new undersea cables far supersedes what was there in 1960s.
And
more
there's 50
effective.
million people fighting for it, man.
And there's equivalent of so much capacity, fiber, Starlink, so on and so forth, but still that technology, when you have it dedicated, doesn't make sense. How it's less effective.
The mobile.
Okay,
subscriber.
here's the honest answer. You're right, and that's actually the key. When you dedicate a modern link, it isn't less effective, it's blazingly fast. A dedicated fiber line between Nairobi and the US will give you near speed of light latency and massive bandwidth. That's exactly what banks and trading firms pay for, and they get it. So the delays you feel day to day aren't a technology limit. They're an economic and design choice. Consumer internet is shared and oversubscribed on purpose because dedicating a private pipe to every person would be wildly expensive. You're not hitting a wall of physics, you're hitting a business model.
I still feel it's underplaying the technology.
Let's put your friend away.
Guys, so in the comments, now you're gonna either side with Ogato and Fazar or Collins and me.
24 people landed on the moon between 1969 and 1972.
And people from different countries, China, Russia, they can all be like, America lied, fuck them, we're better.
So you guys don't believe the moon is an alien base?
Come on.
Oh, astaghfirullah.
Now you're body.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Ogato,
Yeah, man.
we'll link all your details in the description, bro.
No worries, man.
This
Come
has
over
been
to the
fun.
Couch
It's
Connect,
been
man.
very fucking random, but very fun. I like that.
Awesome.
I like that. Any parting words?
Parting words? Oh, man. I have no parting words. Come over to the Couch Connect. Let's hang out there, too. And become a member to this guy's pod. A member in my pod, too.
You've got membership up as well, isn't you?
I got membership up, man. But numbers keep going up and down.
Yeah. So how many are you as right now?
Under 10, man.
And what's your membership price?
It's $5 right now. I want to bring it down to $2. I
Why
just
don't
haven't
you?
had the time.
Why don't you just do $1? That's
Probably
what I'm.
even a
That's,
dollar.
so we did I think about 200 shillings, which is like $1.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. People just don't. Why can't they join at $5? I mean, Eric was telling me, but I'm competing with Netflix because probably Netflix also at $5. But I don't know. I'm gonna bring it down.
It's expensive.
I'm gonna bring. I think I'm gonna bring it down to maybe $1.99.
Like after opening,
Or-
that's not bad.
Yeah.
After opening up the M-Pesa, which I hope the M-Pesa.
Do you get M-Pesa?
People send 1 shillings, bro.
1 shilling?
Yeah.
Like they did at Kisiangani. So when I was over there a week ago, somebody sent us shilling.
People send the shillings because that's all they can afford. That's where we are.
Is that because they are supporting or because they are trying it out?
I think that's because they're supporting people. I'm telling you, people survive on less than 100 bob.
True.
So we just have to appreciate whatever comes in. It's where we are. So we try and make it work for them.
Aren't you the guy who was saying that Eric Mutiso was putting up M-Pesa requests throughout the entire episode, but now you're doing the same thing.
So
man.
the difference is Eric's screen, 3/4 of it was send me money.
Okay.
And the podcast was over there. So for us, we're doing different. We'll put it down here. But I want to try it. Like it makes sense if people are willing to support. Why
Me
not?
too.
I'll be honest. He changed my perspective.
I'm also trying to. So I was asking how to set up an M-Pesa pay bill thing. I want to do the till number pay bill thing too.
I think we know someone at INM who can sort it
Are
out.
you charged to do a pay bill or till number thing?
I think if you open an account, it's free.
Okay.
Then that account can have a pay bill, a business account. Correct, Faza?
Yeah, we've been putting out some content. Guys, I've been saying, man, we want to send something to the editor. So I'm gonna put up a pay bill soon or till number soon, and you can send something to the editor. Man, he's doing a beautiful job over at the Couch Connect.
Awesome.
And you guys over here are doing an amazing job too. But one thing that I shied away from though is the disclaimers. So I decided in my podcast, I'm gonna stand by everything that goes on.
Just put disclaimers, bro.
I'm gonna stand by everything, man.
No, you can stand by it.
Yeah.
The disclaimer just protects you from legal.
How does it protect you from legal? Man, if I come here and say Sajid is full of shit.
No, what I mean by
I
that
put a
is,
disclaimer at the beginning that this podcast is for entertainment only.
no.
Like, how does that?
What I mean by that is if someone comes and says something against a political figure or someone or business,
Yeah.
right? That disclaimer protects you in a way,
How?
saying that it's their own personal opinion. You don't share the opinion. If someone comes and shits on an iPhone,
Okay.
do you like iPhones?
Yeah, I mean,
Apple sees it and they sue you for bad mouthing them. So you get caught in the midst of that. You understand?
But I mean, nevertheless, I think you're still gonna get because you platformed it, you allowed it to happen. So I don't think the disclaimer protects you in any way.
I mean, it's in a way it's free speech. You let them protect, but you don't associate with any possible negative rhetorics. But
I think you're still gonna go to court. Man.
You as a podcaster, you can be willing to have a conversation with anyone, right?
Yeah.
From the Pope to a porn star and anyone in between. You don't need to agree with everyone.
Yeah.
Some people may come in and share very extremist views that may affect people, and they may seek legal recourse against that individual, and you get caught in between. So if you get caught in between, this is it's like a bulletproof vest to protect you from.
Is that in the law somewhere? I don't know. The
anyway,
broadcasting law.
If you're a lawyer, we need you to do a couple of things. First, you Aikido, Ogato, and Faza. And then secondly, confirm whether this actually protects you. From the legal, a lawyer mentioned that you just need to sign a documentation, and then they give you a formal structure to put in your description, and that this is. So if someone asks, you've confirmed with the lawyer.
Okay.
You just take that recourse, bro.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna stand by whatever I say.
I've learned a lot today. Thank you so much.
What have you learned? That we went to the moon, eh?
I appreciate it, bro. Guys, if you've enjoyed this,
man.
We'll put it out for members. Sign up to Couch Connect's membership. Subscribe to that channel. And if you're watching this up until this point and you haven't subscribed, you're just simply a hater. You're a
bastard guy.
Yes, thank you. Guys, we'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.